Is it some devil that crawls inside of you?
Hey folks, welcome back to the Bad Etiquette Podcast. I'm your host, Dallas Bronson. We're joined here finally, and I mean fucking finally, after 3, 4, 5 times, takes, who knows, with the lovely, the incomparable Kyleigh Montgomery. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you
I
too.
missed you.
I missed you.
Oh, thank you so much. It sucks. It kind of sucks not living together.
Yeah, especially after 6 years of dating.
Who's counting?
Not me.
You think that's why we've been together so long? We don't live together?
I'm starting to wonder if it's all gonna crumble.
It's crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I've thought like maybe like that's the secret to success, because everyone's like, oh, how do you guys have such a beautiful, wonderful relationship? They're all Yoda.
No one's asking that.
Well, no, but I know they're thinking it.
Okay.
I don't see anyone else as happy as me.
It's just you.
Just me. Like maybe not even you. Like you're not even as happy as I am in this relationship.
Wow, that's something to aspire to.
No, honestly, like I don't know anyone who is as in love with their significant other as me. Yeah, maybe.
That's very sweet.
I just mean like they're not
I do.
showing it. I don't see it. I don't see people like.
Maybe because they have nothing to prove.
They have nothing to prove. Man, well, damn, ouch.
I don't know. Everyone's different. I mean, I think that like a good, genuine relationship is harder to come by these days.
I know. And now everyone, you can't even go outside and meet someone. Do you think people are like hooking up more because of the isolation? Like Tinder, people are like, it's not about hope. There's no hope anymore, sweetie.
I don't think so.
This is fun because I can call you sweetie because you are my sweetie, instead of just like when I have a female guest on and I'm just like, okay, sweetie, and I just get to.
Do not do that.
What do you mean?
Don't say it like that. It sounds rude.
I'm not gonna say it to you like that.
No, to anyone.
Oof. All right. Well, don't listen to any of the past episodes.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't think people are fucking?
Not unless it's the person they're living. I think that roommates that weren't fucking before are now fucking. But I don't think people are like seeking new people to fuck.
It was a horrible time to live with your mom.
Oh God. Yuck.
Those jokes used to make me want to physically just die and kill myself and like throw up. Now it's still the same. I still want like all that's there, but now I can just laugh at how like dark and twisted and gross it is.
Congratulations.
Yeah. You're so beautiful.
What?
I missed you so much. It's so nice to be looking at a pretty face. I gotta tell you, this fucking ugly mug over here in the mirror, not so good.
That's very sweet. I enjoy looking at you too.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, guys, when she got here, she fucking roasted me. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt I got from the lovely Dane Freeze.
Hi, Dane.
And I live in an apartment complex, and she walked up and I was like, hey, hello, welcome to my place. I own all of this. Just, dicking around like a fucking goober. She's like, you do look like you're some douchey landlord that just walks up.
Douchey
Let me
landlord.
finish. Don't let facts get in the way of a good story, sweetie. Jesus. She's like, you look like some landlord just walks around like you do own all this in that outfit. Like you don't fix anything. Just roasted my shit. Just lit me up. I'm like, ouch. Like at first I was just like, dang, should I change?
No, I thought it was a funny story, but I think you look very handsome in the shirt.
Really? Oh, well, folks, guess what? This fucking Corona vacation brought to you by indoor Hawaiian shirts. Yeah. I'm wearing Hawaiian shirts like as much as possible.
You only have two.
Exactly. I can only wear them like twice a week usually. I gotta wash them. I don't even think this one's clean. Coughed all over it and just rubbed it in my crotch. It's nice and stinky. Anyways, back to
Yum.
you. Hi.
Hi.
This is kind of weird. Like, it's a little difficult to have a podcast with someone you're so close with. I might be too close to the conversation, so to speak. So we kind of had to reach out to people, like have them ask us questions. Mm-hmm. Did that go? No, we're not.
I think it's difficult to have a podcast where you don't have a specific concept you're speaking of when it's someone like you and I who talk every day, all day, because we always know what the other's doing. It's not, and also, especially during this time, it's not like either you or I are getting to get out and
do shit.
Yeah, do stuff and then come back and talk about it.
Yeah, I know. There's this podcast I listen to called Tuesdays with Stories,
Mm-hmm.
and their whole show is it's two comedians, Mark Norman and Joe List, and they go out and tell stories from the road.
Oh yeah.
You know, every Tuesday they come and they talk about it, and now they don't have anything to talk about. And they just had an episode come out today, but I haven't fucking listened to it yet, so who knows what they're talking about.
Same with this podcast that I listen to called This Might Get Weird. Basically a lot of the times they actually seek out doing like strange things, like taking weird classes or going to like dog shows or just something out of the ordinary. And so now, you know, they don't have that. So the episodes have been a little iffy. But now I like noticed that they've been like reaching out and asking for questions and stuff.
That's cool.
Which makes sense because it's kind of hard to come up with something to talk about when you haven't been doing anything.
I know. I was going to just like shit on them. Like, oh, did they find out they weren't interesting unless they're doing rich people things? But
it's not, they don't do rich people things.
I know, but they're doing things I'm not doing.
Well, they also live in the LA area, so there's more to do.
Dude, I'm so fucking glad we don't live in like some big ass incorporated city
right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in general, the only reason I want to live in an area like that is just the industry that I could be available to, so to speak.
Yeah, and there's always, you know, something to do. There's a lot. I mean, but sometimes I feel like there's so much that you can't even find what there is to
overwhelmed.
do. Yeah.
No, I'd imagine it's very overwhelming. I've never lived in a big city for very long, and like, I get a fear of missing out in places I don't live. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I don't know. That's always been like a weird fear of mine. Is like, I feel if anything like this is to happen, like a pandemic or something like that, it's the biggest cities that are going to be affected. So sometimes I really appreciate the comfort of like living in a smaller area or in a more separated area from everything, because then I feel safer.
Yeah, it's like isolated. You're not around nearly as many people. There's just the margin of error is smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I like that.
But I mean, it would be cool to live in a bigger city at some point.
Yeah,
not right now.
Fucking
not right now. I am very happy to be living where I do during this time.
Dude, how cool is it to live at home with mom and dad? Fuck.
That's true, because they have a Costco membership. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. But yeah, I would be pretty. I think I would kind of lose it if I was living alone right now during this time.
Really?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I did some prepping on my own in the very beginning, but I didn't. In my head, when this all started, I feel like I had it that I just had to protect myself. So I went out and I bought a bunch of stuff that I could. And since this started, I haven't used any of it because I just have what my parents bought from Costco and shit. So funny. It's like, I don't know why I felt like I had to defend myself when I live with my family.
Defend yourself? Did you get weapons? You can defend yourself against your family?
No, but I bought like cans of chili and stuff.
Well,
and I haven't had to touch those.
Well, I'd rather have it not needed than need it not have it.
Agreed.
You know, just like condoms, just like a pistol or something. Sure. Like, it's just like fucking... That's the goal, is to have like plenty of food and water and then never use it and just go, good thing I never had to crack into that. Because there's some people who are probably more isolated and aren't as available to like grocery stores and things like that.
Well, yeah, Hannah was telling me that in LA they have to line up outside of the store and only like some are let in at a time, and they're not doing that here yet.
Yeah, not that I
don't think.
I haven't been to the grocery store in almost 2 weeks.
I guess I went to the grocery store a couple days ago and they didn't do that. Okay. They might do it at like Costco right now, but other than that, I don't think they're doing it. And they're doing it everywhere in LA, like Target. So she just hasn't gone out because she's like, it's not worth it to wait in line. And also, you're waiting around a bunch of people. So what's
it's gross. Like, you're just fucking
it's contradicting.
Could you imagine? It's like, oh hey, no one come in, but everyone stand together over there. It's so fucking stupid. Just the queue.
There's a lot of holes in
people.
Yeah, but just in. Ew, I spit. Sorry.
Gross. Fucking infect my. I gotta get a new mic now. No one come over. You're the only guest I can have on over here, really, unless like my family's over. But even then, it's like, get your fucking dirty jeans away from me.
Get your dirty jeans. Yeah, we hate dirty jeans.
Yeah. I thought about having my mom on here. Who cares? Just
okay.
Just
who cares? But I mean, I was saying something.
Well, I think we were just talking about like how isolated some people are, and you were saying like, yeah, people lined up outside grocery stores. Hannah was saying.
I felt like I had an actual thought, but whatever. We'll move on.
Those are all actual thoughts.
Yeah, but this one was an actual thought.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like a man thought.
Fuck.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Men don't have thoughts.
No, I know.
Oh shit. Now it's awkward. I gotta go. You want to take over? I gotta fucking.
Sure. Anyways, thanks for coming back to my podcast. I'm Kyleigh. Beautiful.
House.
So, anyways, how have you been? Sick?
Not sick at all. Honestly, like up until yesterday when I grabbed my fat pouch. Just dude, her eyes got so wide. This is why.
You were gonna say, like, up until yesterday, I didn't have a sore throat and a cough.
Yeah, no, fucking. This is why, like, I wish, people could only speak in turns and interrupting like wasn't even allowed. I mean, there goes my whole podcast. But
yeah,
your reaction, like, just wait till I finish the sentence. And then you can give me the eyes of like, hard. I got to get out of here. Okay. But that's how you hook people. You get them in. That's how you read books. That's how you watch movies. You go, what the fuck? And then you go, oh, okay, I get it.
So I would have had that eye reaction and then I would have gone, oh.
I know, but now I can't even focus because you got these big, giant, beautiful blue eyes staring through my dickless soul. No, yeah, up until yesterday, when I grabbed my fat pouch and was like, oh, Jesus, I got soft. Might have been my cock. I felt great. Like, I feel physically like as healthy as I've ever felt.
That's good.
Aside from, the no exercise part. Mm-hmm. Oof. I can't tell if like I'm enjoying not exercising or my brain is just tricking me like, yes, sit down, enjoy the sugar, you little bitch. I started trying to do like a little home workout, I guess, because I was going to yoga pretty regularly and that felt really good. But I did notice even the yoga, like I haven't been lifting weights at all. It's been a really long time since I've done anything with weights. So I started using my kettlebell again. Nice.
And that's honestly been so challenging.
Really?
Just because I went months, if not a year, without like really using weights. Because for a while, I just kind of totally slacked and wasn't working out at all. And then I started yoga again, but that's strictly using your own. What is that called when
calisthenics.
Calisthenics. Yeah. That's just using your own body weight for any sort of exercise, which I really do like. But I think that I was, obviously my strongest and I felt really good. I go back and forth because at first I thought I felt really my best when I was doing yoga all the time. But the yoga classes I've been taking are still a little more laid back than when I first started yoga. But I just noticed like how weak I am even trying to use my kettlebell again. Like compared to what I was doing, it's kind of pathetic.
It's a trip, like to see how much. I think I never want to be somewhere in my life where I'm not doing weight training. I started my whole exercise trip when I was like 17, 18. Doing calisthenics myself. I had no weights. I had no way of like getting any sort of gym membership. I was a fucking piece of shit kid, had no job with no fucking prospects. So I actually fucking torrented this PDF file of this book, Solitary Fitness by Charles Bronson, the prisoner. Tom Hardy played him in the movie Bronson. All you guys know that's where I stole my last name from. All that
and you
bullshit.
get to see his penis.
And you get to see his cock. He's got a turtleneck on it.
It's not hard, by the way.
Yeah, he's uncircumcised.
Be prepared.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Looks like an anteater. That's cute.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I've had a fucking Neapolitan colored circumcised cock my whole life, so it's like interesting to see a real uncircumcised penis flaccid, not in porn.
I think that's very interesting. See, something I appreciate about you is I think that you somewhat bring to light like insecurities that men might have, but no one knows it. Like when you talk about your Neapolitan dick, because there's so much talk about like women feeling insecure about the way their pussies looks.
Yeah.
Pussies looks.
How many do they have? How many holes? How many options do I have?
The way their pussy looks, or boobs, because there's all boobs look so different.
Well, I even try to do this. Maybe I don't try to do the same thing, but I try. Okay, I'm just gonna say it this way. Sorry, okay. I try to do the same thing like with women, like in their fucking. I don't care if you got some fucking cliffhanger pussy ladies. Good for you. Just fucking let it hang out. Some people have some orangutan titties. Some people have some peppers for nipples. It's cool. It's fine.
When you say peppers, do you mean pepperonis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the big old areolas.
Maybe
they put the area in areolas.
They don't. Maybe they don't want to be described that way because I feel like it comes with a negative connotation.
You're right.
I remember.
Right. Well, I thought Neapolitan cock was funny, like because that's food, ice cream. Then we got pepperoni nipples.
But I remember being in middle school, and a group of boys just looked at me and said, "Do you have pepperoni nipples?" And I was like, "What?" No, I mean, but I said it in such a way where like I would have offended someone that did have pepperoni nipples because I felt so offended that they even asked.
Well, now
me.
You're still calling it pepperoni nipples.
I know, but I'm just using that because that's what they said.
Gotcha.
Those
dirty
boys. And what does it matter?
Honestly, yeah, whatever you.
Which
prefer.
I bet half of those boys grew up and love pepperoni nipples.
As a boy. We don't give a fuck what your nipple is like as long as it gets in or around our mouth or face at some point. Who cares?
Who cares? I actually do have very small nipples, though.
I know.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. Oh, I can't just post a selfie and be like, "Don't worry, folks, tiny."
They're small.
God, I don't want to talk about nipples. I just got self-conscious of my man boobs right now.
Okay.
But yeah, well, listen. Like, I know what it's like to be an insecure boy. So I just want to kind of connect with men on that level because there's a lot of like toxic masculinity and a lot of like really gross dynamics between men. And it's like, we need to like stick together.
Totally. And I think that
even coronavirus is killing us more than women. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also killing minorities more, which is very sad.
I'm thinking of what it's not funny, but I'm thinking what Alana said on the Zoom chat.
Yeah, that was funny.
She's like, you know why? It's because we can't sit the fuck still.
Yeah, that was funny. I really like her. Alana, if you're listening to this, which I know you're not, I love you.
Yeah, she was great. And her dog, Bo Jackson,
so cute.
The cutest puppy ever. And I did watch her story with the dog. I didn't realize that's what you meant. And the banana pancakes. Yeah. I don't give a shit about Jack Johnson.
Just to be clear, we're talking about we had a birthday party, or Hannah's happy birthday. She had a birthday April 4th, and her friend Natalie decided to surprise her with a Zoom call, and it was really fun. And I got to meet one of Hannah's friends, Alana, which I hadn't met before, and she was great. That's the story.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I've met all the other ones. That's why I'm not mentioning them, but they're all great.
I just treated her like she was one of your guys' longtime friends. And that's what she felt like. I was just like, yeah, she's like one of the girls. Why would I not?
One of the ladies. Okay, but back on track.
Yeah.
Men.
Ugh.
And their nasty dicks.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No, but I think that's really cool. I think more people need that more guys need that because I feel like it's not really talked about. And I'm sure I can't speak for them, but I'm sure men are just as insecure about their bodies or, you know, those types of things as women are. But it's more talked about with women.
I mean, yeah, if you think about it, not to get like political or anything, like fucking who does most of the mass shootings? Insecure incel men, like these poor guys. This is kind of like the mentality. Like, I get that those kind of people, you know, are shunned from society and people trivialize them and talk about, oh, incels are gross and like they're obviously involuntarily celibate. Like, that sucks. Like, no one's fucking them. I don't want to be around people that are thinking horribly about women and thinking like that
they owe them.
Yeah. But so what I would rather do is prop them up and support them as individuals and build their confidence so they don't have to think thoughts like that.
Well, yeah, I think just from it's just that there needs to be better teachings and understandings of everyone. It's not just one specific group. Like, you know, there's issues on women's side and there's issues on men's side that need to be addressed and dealt with.
That's fair.
That aren't. It's, you know, there's not, I don't think it's...
I mean, yeah, well, and this is where I think I could come in, where it's like, I can't speak for women and I can't solve women's issues, but I can do my part locally, like with other men and males, and treat them like wonderfully beautiful individuals that don't have flaws, but personality traits. You know what I mean? I
think as long as we're, you know, supporting each other, like, of course, you can't really speak for women. And by you can't really, I mean, you cannot speak for women, and you probably can't solve women's issues or anything like that, but you can be there to support, you know, and be an ally, I suppose, as women can be for men, because I think that that's needed too, because I think that we'd see a decrease in, you know, male suicide, all of that, if it was just more, if there was more talk about it, if they felt, you know, they wouldn't be criticized or, you know, made to feel less masculine because of that. Regardless if you don't want to see gender or anything like that, masculinity is important to a lot of men. And I feel like there's a way that you can still be masculine and also share your feelings and your thoughts and your insecurities and feel heard with, and still keeping that manliness. You know, that sharing all of that doesn't make you any less of a man. Yeah. And that should be tossed in the trash. That thought.
I was watching Dave Chappelle's Mark Twain Prize thing, whatever the fuck, on Netflix last night, and he brought up this quote that his mom told him, and it was a really powerful quote, and it was really beautiful. And Dave was talking about how he was, you know, kind of like a shy guy, not very masculine, not the one to get in fights and type of thing. And his mom said, well, like, sometimes you have to act like a lion to be the lamb that you really are. Mm-hmm. And I think that really speaks to just like the, how do I put this? Like the male experience of sometimes you have to let out a little bit of the toxicity and the negativity and the anger and frustration in really positive ways. Yeah. So you can be comfortable with who you are. Totally. And I completely agree with that. And I think it's just about giving them the opportunity to be able to find a healthy way to release it. And I think that's why, you know, sports and physical activity can be really beneficial and important for, well, men and women, because I think that women are just as angry and, you know, have a lot of pent up aggression and stuff as men do. But one, I think that we were just kind of programmed to shove it down differently. Yeah. And, you know, we bleed it out. Men don't have that. And I feel like that's just so important. Like, even the times where, an example I have where
what I'm thinking when you say that is like how you used to go to jujitsu, and then I remember you would tell me you cried on your way home.
Yeah,
and
all
it's
the
like
time.
totally, because you were able to like let out all of that like pent up anger and emotion that you were feeling, and then you had that time for yourself to just be vulnerable and be and let out the frustration and emotion.
Yeah, I'm positive I've said it on this podcast, and I've probably said it on the Map Brain podcast about jiu-jitsu, but like the first month of getting that level of frustration, anger, anxiety, and like physicality out of your system just brought me to tears driving home every day. Like, not tears because I was upset that I did poorly or that someone hurt me or that I hurt someone, but I was going through a really strange time. I had just lost my brother-in-law due to this fucking senseless act of violence. Yeah. And literally the next day I started jiu-jitsu, and I would have anxiety attacks being in jiu-jitsu because he was strangled to death. He was in a fight at a party, and someone crushed his fucking voice throat, death by strangulation. And I would be caught in these situations where I'd be getting choked, and I'd think about John, and I'd fucking freak out and have an anxiety attack. And it's weird where it put me in a strange headspace. Yeah, because I'd be driving home perfectly okay. I'd be fine.
It's like a really good therapy session.
Absolutely, I highly recommend jiu-jitsu to anyone that can't. It's cheaper than therapy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, a good therapist?
No, I'm just kidding. Probably, yeah. But also,
it makes you look hot after a while. You lose weight. I lost fucking almost 20 pounds within last year.
I think jiu-jitsu is really great because I think it totally pushes people to do things they never thought that they could do. And essentially, anyone can do it. You just have to start and stick with it, and you can be just as good as anyone else, which I think is a cool concept. But also, if that's not for you, just search, go out and try different things. I think people get so stuck within themselves and they don't even want to explore, but you just never know, because I don't know.
What are some things that you've done that have helped you with these so-called insecurities or societal ideas about your gender or my gender? What are some things that have boosted your confidence?
Boosted my confidence?
I mean, other than just being a bad motherfucker. Yeah. Look at you.
I mean, to be completely honest with you, I think I still struggle with it a lot. I don't know that I've necessarily found my thing. Because as much as I can say, go find your thing, it is something I struggle with, because I find I just have this thing in me where it's if I'm not good at it from the beginning, I get super discouraged.
Oh my God, same.
And so I tend to do that a lot, and then I almost feel worse than I did before I started, which sucks.
Why do we do that? I do the same thing. I'm that way with skateboarding, and I've been doing it the majority of my life.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I can look at someone in that situation and be like, come on, you just have to keep going. It'll get better.
And it's easy to push other people.
It totally is, but myself, even with guitar and singing and piano and all of that, it's God. I can't get this right away. I'm done.
Which is so
I suck.
Crazy to me, because you have such a beautiful voice and are a genuinely talented musician. Thanks. I don't understand what the fuck deal you made with the devil.
I'm not where I want to be, and when you're seeing people that have done it for a long time, so they're good, and then you look at yourself and you're like, why am I not already doing that? I don't know. And it all therapy stems back from childhood. It's just I wasn't pushed to do things, so I was able to give up really easily when I wasn't good at it. And I think truly not blaming my parents, but I do think that kind of fucked me up.
Oh, I think everyone's parents fucks it up, because I think our parents were in a generation where they were encouraging, but they weren't pushy about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't pushed to do a fucking
no,
thing.
exactly.
But
And I think you and I really bonded over that.
Yeah, because I constantly was told, like, oh, you could do anything you put your mind to.
1,000%. Yeah.
And then
so was I.
I was just like, okay, but I need like a little bit of a shove in the right direction.
I needed someone to be like, no, you have to do this every day at this time. Like, I needed, like, I
Some
still
discipline.
need that, honestly.
Oh,
like,
honestly.
if I could still, if I wasn't as old as I am and I could still have someone like breathing down my back, pushing me to do things, I think that I would be much farther in life.
I know. I think about Richie every time I have this thought of like, damn, like, or almost every time I see him or talk to him, I think like, fuck, this kid is very fortunate to have.
He's gonna go so far.
These parents, even if he doesn't go any farther, he's come so far as a kid to being one of the best wrestlers in the nation. Like, that's amazing.
1,000%. Yeah, he's extremely talented and extremely disciplined. But I mean, as far as something that does make me feel good, going to the yoga classes that I was, that was very nice. And it made me feel like I had some control over myself, kind of my sanity a little bit. I think in the end I used it more of just like keeping myself sane, keeping myself exercise to the point where I could calm my mind down, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it wasn't extremely challenging yoga, but it felt good to be doing it. It felt like at least I'm getting my body moving, and it was like doing it after work, being able to go home, and I felt like I had a clearer mind. I felt like I was in a better mood. It gave me that time to just kind of breathe in, take some deep breaths, and
I have a hard time doing that when I'm doing the yoga.
Really?
My mind is 1,000 places. I cannot sit down and relax.
That was totally I did struggle with that. If I had something exciting to do after yoga, or even the next day, I did. And it was kind of a cool experiment to see, because there were times where, maybe I had a shitty day and I had nothing to really look forward to the next day. That was kind of when I had my best yoga class, because it was like, okay, this is specifically time for me. I'm going to do this. It's going to feel good. And then when I had stuff to do, I realized it was really hard for me to focus, and I just wanted to get it over with. But something that was, I think, where I found yoga most important is, ever since I was in my bad car accident when I was 16, I feel like I haven't had, full control of my body, full movement, because I get very stiff, and I'm so not flexible from just all of the trauma that my body went through.
Yeah.
And I get really frustrated, because I'm like, I'm young. Why can't I move my body in certain ways?
Why can't I stretch my foot up my own ass?
Exactly.
What's the problem? Like, fuck.
Why am I so sore all the time? Like, it was very frustrating to me. I mean, it still is. And it wasn't, and it's not until I do yoga consistently that I feel like I get my full range of motion, like what I deserve, what my body has to offer. And that's something that's really important to me, because I just feel like, use your body to your full potential. And my body has already been through a lot for only being almost 24 years old. And
I know. Oh my God. Happy birthday. It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Last time you were
Woohoo.
on was your 23rd birthday.
Yeah.
Oof.
Almost a year. But it's really important to me. And, that's a fear of mine as I get older, is that if I don't keep moving, I'm going to lose that.
Yeah. Oh, fucking. It's so crazy how embedded that is in my head already at 24, 25. Like, it's sneaking up on me, and I'm already like, oh my God, what if I have this like kink in my shoulder like the rest of my life? I can't move. Like, I don't know what happened. I think it was in boxing. I threw like a hook, like a left hook and something. And I remember, do you remember when we used to do boxing?
Yeah.
And like, I'd have to stop because my left arm would always just like give out and just die. I couldn't. I still to this day, like, I fucking worry about shit like that. And I'm like, what if my left arm's ruined for life? So that's kind of like one of these really fucking positive aspects to being away from the gym, being away from all this shit, is like
letting
my body heal. I feel like that, like, there was a long time where I couldn't sleep face down with my arms above my head because my shoulders couldn't go back.
That sounds like an awful way to sleep anyways.
Like this? What do you mean? Like this? Arms above your head? This is how I sleep. Like one on the pillow, one like this. You sleep like that.
No, I don't.
Whatever.
I sleep on the side of on my stomach, head to the side, but my arms are to my side.
Well, mine used to always be up here.
Or
and
like under my
do
stomach. I can't do that.
And now I can. Now I can feel I can like do it. It's amazing. It's the best feeling.
And I fucked up my left arm when I fucking lost it trying to skate down that hill.
Oh shit.
Like
I
a
forgot all
loser.
about that.
And so now I've even noticed, like, I thought I only had my right shoulder to worry about. And now the more time passes, I realize my left is fucked up now too. And I don't know what the hell I did because it wasn't broken, but I still have pain. Like, I still will lift my arm up sometimes and it catches and it hurts so bad.
Dude, you know what? Doing the yoga with Ari 30-day challenge, I noticed all of the moves I can't do or anything that I have to like stop doing is all things on my left side.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's because, well, you know how you fell on your shoulder? You're regular footed on a skateboard. You went to your left side, face down or whatever. I'm regular footed too. Every like slam I've ever taken has been mostly to the left side. So like my wrist hurts more, my shoulder hurts more, my hip, my knee. My knee is fucking killing me.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like an ACL surgery coming up before I'm 30 because of like this. Because jujitsu and skateboarding, and then God knows if fucking stupid powerlifting things I've done have hurt it.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, I think about that. I mean, damn, I feel like we've put our bodies through the ringer. I mean, you more with like physical activity. I was in one too many accidents, I feel like. And just, I mean, there was like at least 1 or 2 years where, because the right side of my body was so fucked up from the car accident, I was overcompensating the whole time with my left side. Oh, and now I do find that I have issues on my left side now too. Whatever. Fuck getting old.
I try to be as ambidextrous as possible. I'm very I'm very switch-handed. I can do most things with opposite hand, with the exception of actually writing. I'm as articulate as with my left and
you
right
write
hand.
with your right hand?
Yeah. Nice. And I'll draw with my left hand sometimes if there's
really?
like a more sensitive like detail I'm trying to achieve. I know that my right hand is a little heavier, and this one I'm going to be a little more gentle with because it's so like inexperienced with
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to brag, but
I didn't take it as
thanks,
a brag.
sweetie.
Sure.
Oh man, I know one of these days I just want to get like pumped, full
of stem cells.
Stem cells, a little bit of steroids, just like fucking.
That's why you gotta get rich, baby.
Everything. I know, just enough to get some like stem cell therapy. Oof.
Yeah.
Those are the days. Do you need a refill over there?
Possibly.
All right, let's take a break, folks. We'll be right back. Hey, Bad Etiquette listener. If you're enjoying the show and would like to support the podcast, you can donate to our PayPal at paypal.me/baddallas. You had played like a Vampire Weekend song, and I thought that for sure. Whatever they sounded like is not what I thought they were going to sound like. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Because I thought for sure they were going to be like indie rock. Like,
they are.
It's like electronic or some shit.
No.
It was like super like, I don't know. It was so different than what I expected.
Hate it?
I did not care for it, but I didn't hate it.
Okay.
Like, I didn't mind that it was on, but it was like, it did nothing for me. It was like John Mayer, where I was just like, this isn't going one.
Fuck.
Man. Sorry, John Mayer, dude. Awesome guy. I'd
He's
watch
hot.
his sex tape any day.
Same.
But his music puts me to sleep.
I mean, fine.
It is
whatever.
uninvigorating.
I do disagree. I can agree with you saying that about John Mayer, because I totally get how people are like, he's fucking boring. But I do still think he's a very talented musician and a very talented guitar player. But he did tour with Grateful Dead, which I feel like is a clear sign right there that he's really boring. But I don't think that Vampire Weekend's boring, and I don't think their music is like John Mayer. And also, probably realistically, you heard maybe one or two songs, so I don't think it counts.
No, not at all. Yeah, you could totally probably play more. But if you're going to take a cool band name like Vampire Weekend and not
I always
sound
thought that was
like...
a stupid name. I didn't listen to them for so long because I was like, that's some like weird teenage girl that was into Twilight shit.
Well, I kind of get that, but also like vampire is such a I don't know. It's a cool word. It's just a really cool word. And it's just like you could use this in like a very awesome way.
That wasn't where my head was when I almost like sent me the other direction. But I don't know. There's something about them that I've recently been super drawn to, and I don't know. They have some very like.
You'll have to play some for me because I really don't understand.
The songs like I don't know. I get this very like romantic vibe from listening to their songs. I think my favorite right now is the song Hannah Hunt. No relation to my friend Hannah, but they do mention Santa Barbara, and so there's like this romantic aspect to me about it.
That's
I don't
cool.
know. I really love it.
Okay.
It's just like sweet. I feel like, during a more serious time in the world, you want something sweet but nice and that makes you feel kind of good, and that's what it's doing for me. So
that's cool.
I'm enjoying it.
You know what I listened to last night?
What?
I got a little high and I listened to Nick Cave's last album with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Ghosteen. Ghosteen. That album is mostly electronic.
Wow.
And also might be the greatest piece of music as a whole that has ever been composed, period.
Okay.
I'm not saying that because I'm such a huge Nick Cave fan. I'm saying that because it is so... I would play it for you right now, but obviously we're not a podcast. It'd be annoying.
Yeah.
I almost regret saying it because it's like one of those things where I was like, I don't want everyone to know how cool this is. This is just mine. Like when I always cultivate like cool things.
I 1000% think you keep all of the cool things to yourself because I feel like there's so much that you enjoy that I don't even know about.
I think that's fair.
Which is fine. I think it's nice when people, there's music that I blast that I listen to in the car by myself, and I just like zone out, and I am just filled with like almost like a meditative feeling.
Nice.
But it's not really meditative. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like where you're just by yourself listening to something that you love.
Just successfully zoning out. Like an enthusiastic way.
Yeah, in an enthusiastic and almost like cathartic way.
That's the word.
And you just get like
butterflies,
almost
goosebumps.
like a feeling of like butterflies, but I don't know.
I just get excited. I feel like I'm in a movie, like in the right songs playing. I'm like, yeah. And
yes, and you can like convince yourself you're in a music video or something.
Yeah. Or I always think I always imagine that I'm one of the musicians in the band, like singing or playing along.
Me too. Or I imagine myself in like Dazed and Confused or like
exactly Fast Times.
Fast Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Fucking I think that's one of the reasons. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I have a hard time with electronic music to begin with, or like music, like pop music, is because I see no musicians playing it because it's all usually like computer generated beats and stuff, and I'm like, this isn't like. I couldn't imagine the drummer like doing this. I couldn't imagine a bassist doing this. It's not real. And then I also, I don't know.
Just depends.
It's just
It just depends. There's I don't know, but I really do enjoy that feeling of like just having something for yourself. Or there's songs that I've listened to with other people, and in my head I think no one's ever going to understand how much this song means to me.
Does anything hurt worse than when you show someone a song and it just goes right over their head?
I No. My parents know. I used to try to show my mom songs, or worse, my dad, because he's a musician himself, songs that meant so much to me. And having my soul crushed, my mom could come on this podcast right now and tell you how butthurt I get and how she says, it's just my opinion. And I cannot handle it. Because if it meant that much to me that I'm trying to show you that I enjoy it, and you're just like, no thanks.
Yeah, that's why I don't share like my favorite stuff with anyone.
Crushes me.
That's why I keep like my favorite movies and music and like all that shit like close to the.
That's why I preface when you listen to stuff in my car, I'm like, I know you're gonna hate it, but I'm really enjoying it right now. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that, because then it cues me to be like, don't talk shit. Yeah. Because I have a fucking, comedian's brain. The first thing I'm going to do is like, oh, wow, like, what producer wrote this for him? I'm just going to shit on it immediately. And, like, it's so easy to do that. But that's not all
the music I listen to. I don't just listen to that shit.
Yeah, you also listen to Vampire Weekend and John Mayer. So
I do not regularly listen to John Mayer, to be fair.
Well, I mean, if you regularly saw me, you wouldn't. But
regardless, I love those songs that you have to yourself, or the cool thing is they can be songs that you listen to with other people, but when you're alone is when you like really vibe out to those songs and you're like, this song means so much to me, and I listen to it with other people and they have no idea.
I
totally do you have a song like that? Can you think of a specific one?
No, but I can think of a memory I had. It was one of the best days of my life. I was with, I'm pretty sure it was Daniel and Garrett and James. Might have been someone else there. Might have been one less person. I forget. But we were doing like a little mini tour of the Central Coast skate parks. And we were driving up to Solvang, and I had the aux cord. This is back when that was a fucking thing. There's no Bluetooth. We were just doing aux cord, and I had put on heart-shaped box.
Oh.
And Garrett's like, oh, God, Dallas, what are you trying to make us fucking kill ourselves? And I was like, I like this song. And they changed it thankfully to something much better. It was like a Biggie song or something like significantly. Like, I didn't realize that. I was like, oh, I'm going to ruin the mood.
You ruined the vibe
of like the road trip with your friends by putting on some fucking like sad, sappy, like
I feel that
intense song. And then it was just like, no, I'm pretty sure we're going to put like, fuck, I can't think of it. I know the song and I know the artist. I can't think of it.
It's okay.
Now it bothers me.
Okay.
But that's one of those moments where it's like, oh, damn, like there's a time and a place for certain music. I was like 16.
I would love to know people's like song or like songs that people love, whether it's from a memory you had because of that song, or whether that's just a song you connect to personally, like when you're all alone in your car or in your bedroom. Like,
I've made playlists about it. I have a playlist on Spotify called Distraught.
Really?
Because of how like distraught I've been in I used to have.
But I mean, I would love to listen to that. But what's interesting about the songs is people aren't going to react to them or feel that way just because you do. You know?
It is so
Isn't
true.
That cool?
It's so true.
Or not, I mean,
well,
cool,
it's
crazy,
interesting.
Almost frustrating, because you're like, how do you not feel the same way that I'm feeling right now? When I listen to Bury Me With It by Modest Mouse, I'm in another world.
That's perfectly understandable, because there's songs of theirs that no matter when they come on takes me to when we saw them, takes me to it takes me to a life that I've never lived.
Exactly. I don't know, it takes me to this place where like I get that feeling like butterflies and like I'm in my own world. It's just me here. Also like Dancing Queen by ABBA.
A song is a song. I don't care how popular it is. I don't care how whatever people think of it.
Dancing Queen is so close to my heart, and it always will be. Beautiful. There's nothing I don't love about Dancing Queen. But when I hear it now, I think about when Hannah and I played it.
I just thought of a song.
On the way, I'm excited to hear it. Hannah and I played it on the way home from Santa Barbara after the day that we all went to Lizard's Mouth, and then we went to Craft Ramen, and then we were walking around. And that same night, we went to Shamrock, which was like really fun because I love bringing Hannah into like the local places I go, like incorporating her into my normal life is really fun for me. And
cool crossover.
And you and I, we took separate cars because you had driven your car to my house. So you were in your car driving home, and Hannah and I were in my car, and we play that song on repeat almost all the way to Lompoc, and we just shouted the lyrics. We are very respectful of you when you're in your car, because when it's just her and I, we just blast songs and scream them at the top of our lungs.
My ears so
but
much.
It is so cathartic, and I've never had anyone in my life that I could do that with. Like, to me, that's an activity that I can only do alone. Like screaming at the top of my lungs, acting like a complete moron.
Yeah.
And just dancing.
It's so true. This happened to me recently.
And to have a best friend that you can do that with, like,
sweet.
I could cry. And so, like, Dancing Queen in my head is like one of those memories that I have that, like, I'll never forget the feeling that I had when we were screaming and singing it. And it was just like so sweet and nice. And I was like, this is my fucking best friend. Like, I've never had a female best friend like this. And I don't think I'll ever find this in anyone else. And then a few months later, for my mom's birthday, I don't know if you remember this. I think you came over that night, but I was really drunk. It was when we went to see my dad play, and then her friend Jana and her daughter came over, and I got my mom to take shots with me, which is extremely rare.
I remember that.
Okay. And we all, it might have been before you came over, but I turned on Dancing Queen on the TV, and her and I and Jana and her daughter all danced to it in the living room, and it was just so fun.
Aww.
And like, I don't have a lot of those memories with my family, and it was really sweet.
That makes me think of two memories.
Okay. I'd love to hear that.
One's not a memory, but the song I had thought of was One Thing Leads to Another by The Fix. It's just this random 80s song, one hit wonder, super like throwaway. But for some reason, that song evokes a great emotion in me. And it's like a positive one, and it's like a enduring one. Like when I listen to that, I feel like I can get through anything.
That's beautiful.
It's really strange because I know what like a kind of like a basic structure song it is, because it's like super 80s. There's a lot of like weird 80s, not quite hair metal, but like just like songs that style. I don't know. And then another is dancing with you in your living room, listening to REO Speedwagon. When we were drunk.
Do you want me to cry right now?
Yeah. I think about that all of the time. I remember because I drew something.
I'm just going to keep on loving you.
Yeah.
Where was everyone?
I think they were like down south when your dad was like having his surgery.
Having cancer.
Yeah. When your dad had the cancer,
he still has cancer.
Oh, okay.
What a relief.
Yeah, but no, sitting fucking dancing and singing with you drunk to REO Speedwagons. I just want to keep on loving you. And then I drew a snake because one of the lyrics is like, I'll coiled up and hiss. That, whatever. I drew a fucking snake, and it was the worst drawing I've ever done. And I have that somewhere because of it. And it's just like that song, that moment, always gonna be in my heart.
I always think of you when I hear that song now. And I remember when I told my dad that I love that song, because in my head I thought that I was cool because I loved that song. Yeah. And then I told him, and he was like, ugh, are you serious? REO Speedwagon? I'm like, what do you mean?
It's so funny because I would assume that he'd have some really deep cuts and tracks, and I like relate to him on a lot of music, but I don't really know what kind of music he's into that he could think REO Speedwagon, because I totally get it, because like back in his day, REO Speedwagon was like the mainstream shit,
very
and that's
cheesy.
Just like, ugh, I could do that with 1,000 artists now.
I don't know, my dad's way too cool for me. The things that I think are cool were cheesy in his day, and he still holds on to that, and I don't think I'll ever like it's what I imagine you being a dad is like. Is like our kids are gonna be like, Dad, I love this song by Blink 182, and you're like, fuck that band.
But I enjoy Blink 182.
Okay, but whatever. It was just the example
exactly.
I came up with. You know what I mean? It's gonna be the same shit.
Well, that's one of my big fears. Is I've considered that's a huge motivation in why I think I've calmed down a lot in that snobbery, so to speak, is because I never want to have a kid.
You've done that for me, and I appreciate that.
Well, I've had to, dude. It's either that or break up with you. And I was like, this is a hard one. I guess I can listen to Drake, but I like Drake. But anyways, so like I realized that I had to loosen up a lot because I never want to have a kid someday come, Dad, like, can you buy me this? Well, I guess there's not going to be CDs, but
Shh,
I remember being a kid walking up to my dad like, Dad, can you buy me the CD? And him just rolling his eyes like, oh God, what the fuck is this going to be? But it was the Doors.
Oh,
and he was like,
you're cool.
hell
We get
yeah.
it. Shut the fuck up.
But, well, I'm just saying, like, I would hate for him to have rolled his eyes and went, ugh, God, no. Like, what if he hated the Doors? Or what if he, like, my mom does not like the Doors.
How? Well, she's not real.
Well,
your mom does not exist.
She has a good reason. When she was a stripper, there was one of the fellow strippers always danced to
Fellow
Doors.
stripper.
You know, her colleague.
Her fellow strippers.
Yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough, but you can't hate the Doors.
No, you can't.
That's not right. It is so annoying.
That's horrible.
I get that, and I don't think you're actually going to be that way. I mean, I think that you'll educate them on what you think was actually
really
lame.
cool.
Yeah, but something that like I hold close is there are, as I'm sure everyone has, like those memories that you made when you were a kid that just like latched onto you, and one of them was, well, my dad is sober now, but he used to be an alcoholic. Happens to the best of us.
Cheers.
Cheers. And when we lived in Tennessee, we used to have these nights where my dad would, be very drunk, and he would ask if I wanted to stay up, and we'd just listen to music. We'd put headphones on because he had like, headphones like we're wearing right now, like studio headphones for recording. And we'd put on headphones and we'd both like take turns playing each other songs that we really liked. But mind you, I was like 7, 8, 9, So
you don't like Drake Bell, Dad?
Well, hey, he showed me one of Drake Bell's songs called I Know, and he took me to my first concert, which was Drake Bell, free at the Franklin Mall, so fuck off. But we took turns showing each other songs. Obviously, my songs sucked dick because they were like Hillary Duff and Cheetah Girls. But I remember showing him this one specific Hillary Duff song. I can't remember what it's called right now. Something with the word fly. Maybe it's just called Fly. Either way, it's an extremely cringy song now. And when I re-listen to it, I want to cry because I'm so uncomfortable. But I remember showing him the song, and he was so supportive and so like, yeah, I can totally like see the concept behind this song. Like, I totally get why you enjoy it. And it meant so fucking much to me that he said that I've never forgotten it. And I do not like that song now. Oh. And then there was one more time where my mom and I were going out somewhere, and I had recently gotten, I think, another Hillary Duff CD because I was really into her. I mean, she's fucking hot, so I had every right to be. But, and my mom was like rolling her eyes, upset because she didn't want to have to listen to the CD in the car. And my dad said, come on, like, you gotta let her listen to the music she enjoys. And that meant so much to me because so nice. I know it wasn't anything he enjoyed. He knows my mom didn't enjoy it, but he knew that it was important for me to be able to express myself with the music that I listened to and that I enjoyed in the moment. And that, I don't know. Beautiful. That was very validating for me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That reminds me of a memory I have listening to, listening to Iron Maiden with my mom and my dad in the truck. Because my dad's like a big like Christian guy, and this is towards the end of their relationship. I was like 14 years old. This is probably the final nail in the coffin. Well, we know that. Fine, never mind. Hold on. recompose myself. We're listening to Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, and it starts with this voiceover of this man like, "He who hath understanding reckons the number of the beast, for it is a human number. The number is 666." And it just plays and it just talks just like that. And then it just goes into this like really classic, amazing 80s metal song.
Mm-hmm.
And just like my dad, just like, God, just
That's so
rolling his
funny.
eyes. And me and my mom just fucking rocking out to it.
Cute.
Just at my dad's expense. Glorious.
I love that.
Dude.
I have a lot of stories like that, like with me and my dad enjoying a song and my mom being like, my only recollection regarding Iron Maiden is when we were driving Cheyenne to meet Tyler
Yeah.
before we went to Wood Ranch.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find music that we like all agreed on, and she likes Iron Maiden.
Oh, wow.
So we played Iron Maiden, and it was like the first time I ever heard it. Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't? Yeah, I remember that. I remembered that because I was like, this wasn't something I like, but if they enjoy it, sure.
That's nice.
No, I didn't
It was
hate it, but I
one
had
of-
never heard it before.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one of the few bands, like, I'm very bad with lyrics, and I don't memorize them very well, and I don't understand them any better.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Maiden lyrics, like their greatest hits, at least,
Mm-hmm.
I know every lyric to every fucking song of theirs, and it's so weird.
Yeah, I feel like I remember
Oh,
we played a song and you were like, I know every word to
That's
this
true,
one.
and I still to this day do. It's
That's
crazy.
funny.
I could sing the whole Number of the Beast song right now. Not that it would be good, but I know the words.
That's all that matters.
Dude, I gotta take a piss.
Excellent.
Woo! Be right back. Welcome back after that very, very, very brief little commercial break. Okay, time to do questions. I asked some people on my Instagram if they'd have any questions for Kyleigh. You guys did not come through. It was embarrassing. Did it twice. Good God, some people suck. First of all, I hate doing the questions thing because no one ever answers. Like,
I don't
my
ever.
questions.
If anyone ever posts a story saying like, "Ask me a question," I never do it too, so I can't expect
I don't know
much.
what I have to do to get people. Like, I literally
you
had
just
to
need to-
ask
I think
people,
you need
like,
to-
what's your favorite dessert? And everyone's like, I like cranberry
Okay,
sauce.
it's like
Fucking
a specific
dumb.
question is much easier to
I
answer
know.
than something broad
But,
like
you're
that. People don't want to
specific
think.
person.
Yeah,
Oh,
but people
I know
don't want to
they don't.
come
Bunch
up
of
with something. You have to have a bigger fan base.
I guess that's
for people
true.
to follow
I know.
through.
I'd imagine what having a fan base is like, and I don't really have one yet. So it's literally
You
just.
do. It's just not.
Nah, it's a bunch of fuckwads that follow me back on Instagram, and I follow them back. Dude, she is appalled because she's one of them. You should see.
No, I just think you should be nicer to the people that support your
Maybe they
podcast.
should be nicer to me. God damn it! Ask me some fucking questions once in a while.
Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
Just ask.
It's true. All right, so I have a couple questions.
Okay.
First one's from Hannah. She said, "Can you mail me the Slow Doco Fruit Loops donut? I'd like a dozen, but one would do."
Okay. The answer is no.
Yep.
Because I refuse to go to Slow because I feel like they're extremely contaminated right now. They had like way more cases than I feel like, where we are.
That's where it started in our area.
Yeah. And I have someone, or I know of someone that works in at French Hospital in Slow, and they had to do, awful things like move ICU patients to the Cal Poly Gymnasium. So, I just prefer to stay away from there right now. So the answer is no, Hannah.
It's not
Sorry.
happening, Hannah.
Fuck off.
All right. And Becca asked, "What are important albums and artists to you?" Wow, I've never seen you so stricken with fear.
I get really stressed when it comes to music questions.
Me too, because I feel like a lot of people are looking to see how cool I am when I answer the questions, and then
Yeah,
also
that-
I know
but-
there's something I'm forgetting.
Totally. Exactly.
always
That's exactly
someone-
how I feel. It's like I'm always going to forget what is actually important to me. And then I'm going to be in the car. The song's going to come on and I'm going to go, fuck, that was
God.
what it was.
Damn it!
Can you ask the question again?
Yeah. Important albums / artists to you.
Okay. Artists that are important to me are Regina Spektor. She, I can't think of a specific album because there's kind of just like a collection of songs from all of her albums.
I also fucked you over on that because I gave you that flash drive with all of her music as MP3s and didn't really have much of like a...
I don't care. It doesn't matter. I mean, that was beautiful and I appreciate that you did that. But I mean, there's not one specific album because I appreciate all of her albums and there's songs from each of them that bring me joy.
That's an important artist. That's nice.
Let's see.
Is there an album from an artist you don't, usually care for, but the album itself is pretty, spectacular?
That's a good question.
Like, I think if someone asked me that question, I know I could say the Adolescence Blue album is an untouchable, perfect record from the 1980s. And there are other stuff. Yeah, it's okay. There's some good songs.
I mean, one of my favorite albums, I believe, is Modest Mouse, Good News for people who love bad news.
Mm-hmm. It's an untouchable record. It's amazing.
1000%. And I really love Modest Mouse. Another I'd say is probably the Eagles. I don't have a specific album for that either, but the Eagles are just important to me because it reminds me of my dad. And it just feels like, growing up, like childhood. I think Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I really love the Beach Boys. I remember when I was a kid and I first heard the Beach Boys, and it was all on my own that I discovered them, kind of. Like, my dad didn't really seem to be that into them, and he never mentioned them. And I remember telling my dad that I liked the Beach Boys, and him just saying, "No, you don't. You don't know who they are." And I was like, "Yes,
geez.
I do.
Come on,
I really
Dad.
like them." And then I started naming some songs, and he was like, "Oh, you do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And so that was I felt like I gained some cool points from my dad.
Got some cred.
Is this whole episode just like people realizing I have daddy issues? And I'm trying to prove to my dad that I'm cool.
Naked pictures on the internet.
Yeah, fuck off. But yeah. So Beach Boys, Modest Mouse, Regina Spektor, absolutely. The Smiths are really important to me because thinking of the Smiths, I think of you and meeting you and getting to know you. The Cure also is really important to me because same concept. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think.
It's okay.
I'm sure there's more,
but those are good answers.
Those four are very important to me for sure.
That's beautiful. I appreciate you answering. All right. A lovely Haley says, "Why is she the best?"
Oh, well, the facts are that I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not the best, Haley, but you certainly are.
Haley's fantastic.
Haley is the best. She's sweet, she's smart, she's funny, and she's fucking doing shit, and that's great. I haven't seen her since she left for college, and I thought that I was going to.
Oh, I know, this fucking
Which sucks.
doomer.
Yeah, because she was like, "I'm coming back because of the pandemic. They closed my school," and I was like, "Oh my god, we're gonna hang out." And then I was like, "Oh shit, no, this is serious. We cannot hang out."
Damn.
But from social media strictly, I can tell how much she's already blossomed going to school for the time that she did, and I'm just so happy for her and happy to see her, and I love her.
That's beautiful.
So anyways, she's great. I'm not.
You are great, and so is Haley.
Okay, well,
so shut up.
I'm not going to talk about me being great. I'm going to talk about how Haley's great, and I love her.
I think it was more the question might have been directed at me. Why is she the best? Okay, Anna asked, first impression of Dallas.
Ooh, well, which first impression? Because I started talking to you on Facebook.
Do the first one and then the in-person one.
Okay.
I'm sweating already. I'm having a little panic attack right now.
I think, well, my first impression of you was I saw you in the friends you may know section on Facebook in 2011. Fuck. That's almost 10 years ago.
Tomorrow. I'm just kidding. Next year. Ow, it's my toe.
And I thought, God damn, this boy is hot.
Boy, was she wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm still right. I thought you were hot because your profile picture was you sitting on a roof, bad boy, with a tattoo, badder boy, because you were like 16 and you had sunglasses on. I mean, what more could you want?
Still one of the coolest photos I've ever
Seriously.
seen. Oh, you know what's so funny? The guy who took that, I just saw him when I went to Napomo the other day.
Oh, weird.
At
Okay,
the
back
rec
to me.
center. Okay.
So, anyways, my first impression was this boy's hot. And then I added me back, cha-ching.
At this point in my life, I had never had a girl add me on Facebook. I just had to look at their cleavage and go, oh, I'll add her. And she added me first. So I was like, oh, yeah.
And I'm trying to remember that, like, the time in my life where I did that, because that wasn't something that I normally did. I'm pretty sure, like, I had just been broken up with by a boyfriend. And I was like, I gotta get some revenge. And anyway, so you added me back, and then you poked me on Facebook.
Did I? Or did you poke me first?
I'm pretty sure you poked me first.
Ugh, what a fucking bitch.
And then I poked you back, and then I think it went on a little longer, and then you messaged me, and you said...
I remember this. I remember this like the back of my hand.
I'm gonna poke you in real life. And I think I lost my goddamn mind, because I was like, one, this boy just messaged me. And then two... He said something so provocative.
So provocative.
How dare he?
And in my fucking book, like, provocative's the only way to go. I don't know what started this bullshit, and I'm sorry.
Every time you said something to me, it was provocative, and I was ready for it at any time.
I was ready for it.
I remember when you used to tried to sext me before we had ever met.
I still try, and it still fails.
No, but it was worse back then, because you used to ask me, like...
Oh, stop right there. Stop right there. I don't need anyone else to know. That was like I was underage. This is illegal.
Like the cringy questions.
Oh, the fuckboy questions.
Like what would you do if we were together right now?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And I had no idea. I was still a virgin when I was talking to you.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
Because first of all, I was not. Second of all,
I know.
But
so that was me.
No, I said I was going to stop you right there. That means shut up. You were the only girl that was patient enough to let me get past the fuckboy stage with her to actually speak on like a human level. And I think that's how we got to know each other so well, and how I learned that you can be more than just a pervy fuckboy. You can also be a pervy fuckboy with personality.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. There was a couple. There was like at least a month where we talked nonstop, and we were like texting every day. And I was already in love with you.
No.
And then there were years we went without, or not years, but there were like months in between us talking at all. And, we were living our lives and dating, whatever you want to call that, and with how young we were, other people, and, enjoying fingering other people,
yeah.
Enjoying our adolescence. And I would just receive a random poem from you. No. Don't you dare. Because this was the sweetest thing in the goddamn world. And it just like refreshed me and made me feel okay again. Because I would think about you every once in a while, and then I would receive a poem, and it was like, okay, everything's okay. I still have Dallas. Things are fine. Like, he's still there. And it was so nice to know.
That's so funny. That I felt very similarly, because even when all the other girls wouldn't text back, Kyleigh would text back.
No, I didn't. Remember, you always told me how bad I was at texting back.
Oh, you were the worst. You were the worst. Well, no, here's the thing, is that you would text back. You always eventually would. But it would take so long.
Because I usually had another boyfriend at the time.
Oh, God.
But whatever, regardless. And then like,
So whoever she's not texting back quickly to now, it's because she has another boyfriend. Just get used to it. Don't worry. You guys will fall in love someday. It's fine.
no, that's not true. Anyways, you were just always in the back of my mind. I remember when you messaged me and you were like, I like this girl. I don't know if I should tell her. And I thought it was me.
Oh, stop right there. The question was the first impression of Dallas, not the story
Too
of...
bad. I thought that you were talking about me. And I was like, oh, yeah, you should just tell her. And you were like, okay, I did. And I was like, fuck. He did not just tell me he likes me.
Well, to me, I was like, I poked you on Facebook. Like, clearly I like you.
No, whatever.
It was dead obvious.
Okay, anyways, my first impression of Dallas online was that he was hot. And he was, crazy. He was provocative. My first impression of him in person was also, this boy's hot.
And also, how the fuck is his head actually that big?
No, that's not true. My first impression of meeting Dallas in person was we came more in contact through his friend Zach Honeycutt, who I think I had also become friends with online, and he was having a show for his band Church Mouse at the time at this place called Stages in Lompoc. And because it was in Lompoc, I decided to ask Dallas if he was going, and Dallas was like, of course I am. And I said, oh shit, me too.
I'm getting goosebumps, again.
Just like Dallas had promised me at probably a couple years prior, was when he saw me, he would pick me up and spin me around. And the second that I walked into Stages, he parted the crowd and he picked me up.
I parted the crowd.
He
I remember
quite
just
literally,
just Moses and the Red Sea.
you were
of
much taller
scene
than
kids.
everyone else in that
I was.
point.
I don't know what was going on there,
Well,
but
we were
I was
still
definitely
quite young, so I don't think everyone had quite hit their peak yet. But he parted the crowd and picked me up and hugged me.
Oh.
And it was really sweet. At the time, he had told me he was going to kiss me, but he was too shy.
I was definitely too shy. Well, I was
also had a boyfriend, so how dare you?
I don't give a shit. I still kissed you.
No, you didn't.
Eventually.
Well, okay, that was after. Anyways, so spun me around and was just very sweet and charming.
You have. I'm gonna stop you right there.
He texted me while the show was going on and said, "Oh my God, your butt."
Yeah, because you had spoken about you having a bubble butt, and
I'm sorry.
many
Don't
times.
act like I had brought it up myself. You said,
Stop.
How's your butt?
I don't remember what
kind
phrase
of
I
butt
used.
do you have?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't even. Anyways, shut up. I'm talking now. The men
Okay.
are talking.
Fuck off.
I had finally seen your ass, and I was like, oh, this was a point of conversation many moons for you and I. So I had to text you mid-show, like, oh my God, look at your butt.
Yes, he did.
That was amazing. You were like the person I was waiting for. And you know what? Even in a time when I had a lot of close friends that were girls, you were always like the sleeper cell of like secret best friend, tell my secrets to, my feelings, like poems, all that dumb pussy shit. And once you were finally like in my life, it was like this huge relief. It was like, this lady's finally here. I can be as myself as I can possibly be, because this person seemingly would know me as much as she could have, because we spoke for years before we met. We spoke for about 3 years before we met in person.
We started talking in 2011 and we met in 2014.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That is crazy.
Because when I think about it, like, we essentially are high school sweethearts in a weird way.
Essentially, but I was about to graduate before
and I
we
had
actually
graduated
met.
a year early. So
not really.
not really.
Not
but
even
like
close.
but like we've been dating since we were teenagers.
Okay, yeah.
Yuck.
That is gross.
That's really gross.
Meeting you was the most exciting time of my life to this day. And I think the next exciting step will be marrying you and having your child.
That's beautiful. Which is it?
Well, if we're being traditional, we'll marry first. But in my unfortunately, I feel like we'll probably have a child first.
Why is that unfortunate? My parents never married and they're divorced.
I don't know. But meeting you was great. My first impression was just the excessive amount of butterflies and joy and like rush of adrenaline I felt and how fucking hot you were.
Wow. I've never been called hot by anyone but you. So this is like
that doesn't make any sense. I think you're really hot.
I know, but girls are fucking dumb cunts, so they don't say things
do
like you're
not
hot.
Say that.
Okay. Women are stupid bitches. There. I'll tone it down a lot. They don't say things like, they don't encourage boys. Also,
you've been dating this same girl for 6 years, so I kind of hope that no other girl's like, you're hot.
I mean, if they have, it's gone right over my head. Like, whatever spam message, biatch.
Whatever.
Yeah. My first impression of you was, oh my God, this isn't a girl, this is a woman. I remember distinctly like feeling like I had underestimated you and was like, oh, I got to clear some shit off of my like agenda and schedule as a person for you. When you walked in, and then, oh, you were funny. Like you were the first girl that was like funny without just being funny to get people's attention. You know what I mean? You were acting dumb. You were like quick and snappy and had the driest sense of humor on the planet. Just the most deadpan, like, and I was in love with that shit at the time. And you're still funny now. Well, I just mean like it was like super hot then. Now it's like, we get it, Kyleigh. But yeah, so.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Love
Thank you. I love you too. Okay. Well, then I have my questions and I'll ask you.
Already nervous.
Okay. First one's real easy.
Oh, shit.
Share kinks.
Share kinks?
That's all it says.
Can I see who said that?
Nope.
You have to subscribe to my OnlyFans for me to share these kinks. Share kinks. I don't know. Do you have any kinks?
No, that was the question wasn't for me.
Oh, it's for me?
Yes. These questions are specifically for you.
Okay, which amazing gay guy asked about the kinks?
Just answer
Okay,
it.
all right.
At least one.
Let me think. Damn. You know what's one of my kinks is patience. First of all, Jesus. Kinks. There's one point in my life I couldn't come unless Kyleigh spit in my mouth. That was one. Yeah, spit in my mouth. Are you okay there? She is all kinds of uncomfortable. She's not even here right now. She left. So, hey J-Lo, cut that out. All right, I gotta fucking. She's not even here right now. She's pale. She's the same shade of white as her blouse. Ew, did I just say blouse? You know what one of my kinks is? Embarrassing myself. Oh no, that's a real one. I shouldn't say that. That's like a shame. There's like a real shame one. Kinks. I don't know. Let me look at my list of kinks. Butt stuff. It's a kink.
Okay.
This is weird. I've never talked about. That
Me
thing's
either.
gonna fall, sweetie. And that mic is gonna fall. You can't. There you go. You can lower it down here.
Is that better?
So it's down there.
There you go.
So that we can speak into it.
Okay.
Yeah. Dang, I've never had my heart race so much with my hands so dry. Usually my palms get a little sweaty.
Okay.
A question like this. Share kinks. Do you have any kinks? Share your
Nope.
kinks. Share a kink,
I don't have any.
please.
I don't have any.
She likes old teachers. Go ahead.
What's the main way to a Dallas heart?
The main way to a Dallas heart. I think that's a tough one.
The ones that I'm about to ask you are very tough.
Okay, that's fine.
This person was very creative in their questions.
Well, good for them, fucking asshole. It's probably funnier because of who it might be. So
What is something that, like, really sells you on a person? Like, what's the main way to your heart? What is something that someone does for you where you're just like, I really appreciate and love them?
Someone who can laugh at things that aren't typically accepted as jokes. But anyone who can identify something that's funny, anything who notices something a little out of the ordinary or a little subtle. There was a joke recently on on that Mark Twain thing. Neil Brennan, who we had just seen, actually, he co-creator of Chappelle's show, and he had made a joke about this company asking him for Universal had called him about a weed movie and said, "Hey, are you doing this weed movie with Dave Chappelle?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, when can you pitch it to us?" And he said, "In about 30 days time." Do you get that joke? It's okay if you don't.
No.
It's 30 because that's how long it takes like weed to get out of your system, and it's a weed movie, and you need to get the weed movie out of your system to like pitch it to someone. And I thought that was really funny, and like not even anyone in the crowd laughed, and I was like, this is like really like acute and like subtle, and it means someone's paying attention.
Yeah.
And I just like to notice, I think someone who's observational, someone who pays attention, someone who like laughs when no one else is laughing.
I feel like cool. You like, if you want to find your way into Dallas's heart, you just need to be like a misfit.
Yeah, that's true. And
I feel like the person that's not quite fitting in, that's a little bit of the oddball out, that feels kind of uncomfortable in the room of people, you find yourself trying to make them feel comfortable.
I do, because
or trying to make them laugh.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
In the
because
midst of everything.
Holy shit, have I always been most of the time like the uncomfortable one in the room or the misfit or like the anxious one. When I see someone else who's like that, I just know now's my time to like extend an olive branch, talk to them, be like, hey, like fucking, there's nothing better than getting the quiet person to laugh and like be obnoxious with me. That's a great way to my heart. So some people are endearing on their own by being like that. Yeah, the quickest way to like for me to not like you is usually just by talking. Whoever's talking the most or about themselves the most, like I'm doing now. Ugh, get away from me.
Yeah, it's really funny that you say that, but you talk a lot about yourself. So.
Well, this is my fucking show.
No, I don't just mean on your show.
Ouch.
Okay, next question. Is there such thing as a true story?
No, that's ridiculous. I think based on a true story is the only version of true story you'll ever get. I think there is bias. I think there is a human flaw in telling a true story.
Every true story is still someone's opinion of what happened.
There's like, the expression, there's three sides to a story.
Yeah.
Your story, my story, and the truth.
What really happened.
And what really happened. And like I had just said previously in the episode here, never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Amen, sister.
Like, unless I'm on trial here, like, I'm going to fucking pump up some details for a good story.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Everyone does. Who doesn't do that?
Yeah, my brother's pretty guilty of it. I love it. I love him for that. That's like one of the, he's a very pragmatic person, very utilitarian, but like the one area where he's like a little flexible is like facts and like stories. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like as a kid, he'd always like make up some bullshit. Like Dallas fell like 30 feet. And I'm like, it was definitely 2 feet, but thank you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It'll just embellish just a little bit. And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah. Love him for that.
I enjoy that when you're like telling a story with your friend and you both are just like connected on the same page and embellishing the same amount, and you're like, fuck yeah,
bull and shit together.
Yeah, 1000%. It's so much better though.
Oh, it's good. So yeah, that was one of those like loaded questions where there was like, I know there's something that true story. So
I'll let you know when it changes.
The questioner.
When the person who
the asker.
Yeah. How many times a day do you think about what you're doing?
Oh, this is brutal because it happens so often, and it's like the source of my anxiety. Is I was thinking about what I was doing the moment I woke up, I was like, I'm laying in bed wasting. I hit snooze, which I never do. I'm not a snooze alarm guy. I wake up and I'm up type of thing. And I was very tired because I stayed up late last night. Life is fucking caution thrown to the wind right now. We don't give a shit. I was up late. It was fucking a disaster.
Who cares?
Exactly. And I was like, oh man. So I was thinking about it the first thing when I woke up, and like I was thinking about when I was folding laundry, I was like, what am I doing? And I had written reminders for things on my whiteboard next to my bed.
That's cute.
So the first thing I did when I woke up was to look at it and immediately engage those things. I think about what I'm doing all of the time.
Yeah, you do. You do.
It's so annoying.
You don't settle down very easily. I feel like the only time that I get you to settle down is like right before we're going to go to bed. I'm someone that could lay in bed all day and just like enjoy a TV series or a movie.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, and you can't do
bed.
that. You're always thinking like the last time I was over here when you were like downstairs and like on your phone and like on the computer, I was freaking out because you just could not settle down. And I was like, there's truly nothing else to do right now except what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
But you had to be doing something every second. I was like, calm the fuck down.
I can't,
just
dude.
lay down. There's nothing else to do right now.
This is how I've always been. I've always wanted to be. I've always had a fear of missing out. I've always.
But this is your time. But this is my time to be like that, because usually I'm like, oh shit, I have to get ready. I have to go to jiu-jitsu. I have to shower. I have to get ready for work. I have to be at work. I have to focus on work. I have to now have lunch, and then I have to do my tasks at work, and then I have to drive home, and then it's like, I have to make sure everything's prepared for when I wake up. And then all that's gone, and so I have all of this like scheduling and structure that's open,
and I don't know where to put it, where to go. So I'm just trying to get ahead of the curve while I can.
Enjoy it.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, of course, I do feel like there's productive things you could be doing throughout your day, like recording podcasts, promoting your podcast, posting on your Instagram page, whatever. But I mean, what the fuck else do you have to do? I mean, whatever. If you come up with a great, business tactic or whatever to do during this time.
More. There's so much
exercise.
to learn.
But like, if it's just you and I, fucking settle down, dude.
Well, here's the thing. I can do that, but not all day. I can't sit there. I can't. We woke up and I put a TV show on. I put a TV show on Netflix just to watch it. And then we almost finished the whole series. And I was like, what? I wanted to do anything else today.
Okay. But to be fair, I don't really have anything else to be doing at your house.
It's true. It's very true.
To expect me to like get up and do something is kind of ridiculous when you're not supposed to be going outside to begin with.
I know, but like we could have been doing a lot of things. Could have been learning could have been learning a jiu-jitsu technique, could have been doing yoga, could have been I could have been running jokes by you. You could have been like, what do you think about this for a porn star name? All kinds of things. So
all things you could do from bed.
But I can't. That's the thing is I will be trapped in bed and it gives me anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety because I spent quite a lot of time when I lived here being unproductive, laying in bed just thinking for hours, just staring at the wall, just thinking about so many things and just like getting nothing done about it. And when someone else is in the bed, I can't just sit there and think. I'm like, there's a whole nother body here. Like I have to engage or like interact or like watch something.
Okay, fine. Maybe it's healthy for you that you feel that way. I think in my head, like my favorite thing when I was younger was just because I was homeschooled. So a lot of days I got to lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. And I think that like when I was busy and when I was working all the time and stuff, I craved that. Like that was all I wanted. Some days all I wanted to do was just have a day where I could literally lay in bed all day and do nothing at all. And so now that I have that, I'm taking advantage of it to some aspect. I've started, I mean, I'm not really doing anything, but I've started getting up. You know, I make myself breakfast. I go downstairs and I eat outside, and my parents sit outside with me and we chat. And then I haven't really been laying in bed all day as much as I was in the very beginning. But I was also sick in the beginning, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is I'm completely alone.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
So everything that does or doesn't get done is only on me and my shoulders.
Well, I feel like you have a lot more, I don't know the word I'm thinking of. But like you could probably get a lot more done because you are alone. Like I feel like there's a lot of things I don't want to do because everyone else is home in my house.
I have a lot more freedom. There's a lot more time for independence. I can express that. It's like really, it's easy. Like I really was afraid of the world for so long and hid myself away in this room and collected movies and CDs and records and just did anything I could to isolate myself and make this the most comfortable place to be. When I found out the most rewarding thing was branching out and doing something outside of it.
That's beautiful.
And now I have the comfort of knowing that like once I'm tired of all that and I need a break, I can come right back here and just fucking enjoy things. And then I'm still just like this never ending fucking circus game show. Just every fucking day. So like when I go over to your house, try to sleep. Oh my God. It's hard. Because I don't have access to any of this stuff. So I'm like, what do? I'm constantly like, how do I get in a little better shape, or how do I get like a little better looking, or like how do I get like a couple more friends or a couple more downloads, or maybe there's like a cool show I could be creating, or maybe there's a joke I'm missing, or maybe there's a punchline, or like it's just like fucking I'm going, I'm zinging, I'm zinging, I'm zooming, I'm fucking ding.
It's probably good. It's probably better to, you know, live like that and think like that than it is to just be like, I love this band. I love watching this show.
I think it really comes out too when I do the solo episodes because my mind is a scatter. Who the fuck asked this question? What a rude question. Moving on.
Shall we move on? Okay.
Yeah.
Eggs fried or scrambled?
Ooh, I like a good fried egg. I think scrambled is a little too commonplace.
Fuck off.
And I only like scrambled is good at home. If you get scrambled eggs anywhere else, it's gross. I don't like that. So I like good fried egg. I like when you cut it open and the yolk falls everywhere and just gets all covered. Literally because of the intro to the Showtime series Dexter, I love egg yolk on everything. Seen. Oh, Jesus.
Okay, tamales or pizza?
Here's the thing.
Have you ever had a tamale?
Oh, I've had tamales as long as I could possibly remember. I had this wonderful neighbor, Sylvia, and I was good friends with her son, Michael. And that's who I'd like hang out with most because he was definitely like the weird one of the bunch.
Where was this?
Napomo.
Okay.
I actually drove by my old neighborhood where I grew up, and she was still there, and she's still sitting in her garage, and I saw her, and it was like one of like the only moments of.
Are you able to just like take a deep breath when you see that? You're like,
I could cry right now.
Sylvia's here.
Well, it was just like, thank you, like she's still around, like.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, I had to drive through my old neighborhood and a lot of the places I grew up in Napomo to just kind of put to bed and like make peace with the fact that life didn't
pan out the way you wanted it to.
Well, it didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, but I also wanted to like almost ensure the fact that there wasn't some life I missed out on. I wanted to see what I could have missed out on.
But are you sure?
And here's the thing is I thought the rest of my life would be spent in this area, or at least my young adult life. I thought that I was going to go to school with my friends. I thought we were going to graduate together. I thought I was going to learn to drive with them. I thought we were going to go live out our dreams from this one like point of trajectory.
1000%. I think that's where you and I relate is one, our parents didn't push us to do anything. We weren't forced to be good at anything. Yeah. And two, I think we were both taken away from, kind of growing up.
Our roots.
Our roots. Growing up with the people that we started experiencing things with.
Yeah.
I was taken away from my home at 7th grade and then again freshman year. And then the people that I started freshman year with, I still changed again. And so I feel like I had no roots anywhere. And I still don't really feel like I have roots anywhere. I think that's why I won't really be, I mean, in a sense, but like, I don't feel tied to anywhere necessarily. I long for the places that I thought I was going to grow up. Like when you and I drove around the neighborhood that I grew up in, the town that I grew up in, all I wanted to do was just like cry. And I longed for what it would have been like to grow up there. And same with Napomo, honestly, I feel the same way. Because in my head, it was my second chance to grow up with people. And I still didn't get that. I was still taken away from there. That sounds like I was like kidnapped or some shit.
I know.
It wasn't that dramatic, but just I had to move away from there, and I was never able to go back and grow up with the people that I got reattached to.
Yeah.
Which was a big bummer. And I feel like you and I kind of went through the same thing in that sense. Is like we both had such a connection to Napomo, and we never really got to live that out.
It's very strange to see how it's affected us as adults. I think that I wasn't always such a bitter asshole. It really took till about 16, 17 years old before this kind of settled in, before I was like, I mean, I was always kind of prickly with my words. Like I definitely spoke my mind, but there's a lot of bitterness and a lot of anger that stems from kind of, I can absolutely attribute it to feeling like I got cheated out of a very important life experience.
Do you think that you have a hard time like attaching to people and places now because of it? Or do you think that's something you don't have a problem with?
I feel like I feel those connections very deeply.
Yeah.
Very quickly. And I'm so used to kind of having like my heart broken in that way. I used to be very avoidant. I don't know if that's a word, but like I would almost make it so people could get mad at me for being the way I was and just kind of shunning me. So I'd be like, oh fuck, at least I don't have to be connected to this asshole. You know what I mean? I just kind of like push people away. Just like this weird defense mechanism. Because I had just gotten my heart ripped out. Like, oh, I don't get to graduate with my friends. I don't get to grow up with all of my best friends. Oh, it happened again? I went to 2 junior highs and 6 high schools, and it happened again and again and again and again.
It's a lot more painful than I think people realize.
It's so weird. And I think it's a pain I'm still kind of coming to terms with.
Yeah.
Because the first half of my life, if you half my life completely, the first half is when it all happened, when that started. And now this whole second half has just been like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like my whole upbringing was like moving around and getting to know people and then never seeing them again. And then like, it's so hard to, I think social media has been very beneficial in kind of mellowing those feelings out.
Yeah, because you still get to stay in contact with those people that you kind of thought you'd never see again.
Cool. And then another cool thing is like, I feel like one of the advantages to this is I can make friends with anyone, anywhere. Because I went to so many different places and saw so many different people just in this small area even. And I had to like connect with all kinds of weird people. And I think it really speaks to like when I'm talking to the weirdos in the room, because I'm like, a lot of the times the weirdos in the room are the only people that I was able to make friends with. And it's like, I know what it's like to be nervous and new and shy and not know your way around. And thank you for all the people who helped me find my way around. Yeah. Well, I hope I can be that person to other people.
And I think that's kind of the cool thing about the Central Coast is it's big, but it's also so small in the sense where, you know, there were people that I thought I would never see again or never come in contact with again, and I totally have. And it's all kind of connected. You find that people from this town know people from this town, and you never thought that they would come in contact, and that's cool. I mean, even like being with you, like you've somehow kind of brought me back to Napomo more than I ever thought I would be, because I kind of felt like I had lost a lot of my connection to Napomo, but you still maintaining friendships with people there.
Man, I'm always trying to find a way to get back there.
Same, yeah. But that was so nice and cathartic for me, because after leaving Tennessee when I was in middle school, I was really uncomfortable, and I didn't think that I would connect with people that the same way, because I had been with the same people from like kindergarten to middle school.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Preschool
having to switch that was really difficult. But then I became very attached to Napomo and the people that I met there. And then again, I was taken away from that. So, and I throughout the years have just kind of lost my connection to that place other than my grandparents. But it's nice, and I think very cool and interesting that you and I both have a connection to Napomo in that way, and I've really appreciated getting to know your friends who I even knew when I lived there, but didn't know, very one-on-one or anything like that.
Yeah, okay.
So it's been really cool having that again.
All right. Well, fuck. Next question.
Well, you didn't
Sorry
even
to get
answer
so
the
heavy.
question. It was tamales or pizza.
Ew, that was the question? Jesus. Pizza.
Okay.
I used to accidentally eat the fucking corn husk shit that they put the tamales
Oh,
in.
you
Like
idiot.
a moron. Yeah, it's definitely pizza. What a question. Who knew? The simplest. It's pizza. Because pizza's like sex.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad, it's still pretty good.
I disagree.
And I'd rather have bad pizza than no pizza.
I'd rather have masturbation than bad sex. Okay.
Fair enough.
That's all I have to say. What's a number one pet peeve that you both share? What's one that still annoys the other?
Like between us? Like one you and I have?
Mm-hmm. I guess so.
I don't know.
Well, what's one of your pet peeves? What's your number one pet peeve?
Like with anything or just you?
I don't know. It says that we both share, but I don't know that we share a pet peeve.
Each other?
No. Come on.
Okay.
Well, tell me your number one pet peeve and I'll see if I agree.
I always try to think of this because this is a very common question, but it's a very difficult thing to answer. Because pet peeves are like a very shared experience. Jesus. Oh, man. Can you say anything before you fall asleep over there, Kyleigh?
I'm not falling asleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that my number one pet peeve at the moment is martyrs.
Yes. Jesus.
I think people
Christ.
that pretend like they're doing something for the masses, for other people, when it's really just to make themselves feel better, and they're still fucking dickheads when things don't go their way. Or you're friends with someone who's a martyr, and so you see the behind the scenes of how they really feel about a situation, but then they react to it as like, oh no, that's fine, like I'll do anything you need me to.
Yeah.
I have a big problem with
Disingenuous people like that.
Disingenuous
Absolutely.
people.
Big pet peeve of mine is when people aren't listening, when they always find a way to bring the conversation back to themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can do that and be very interesting, and that's okay, because I like it. It's like, if you're going to talk about yourself, like, please, better be a good story, and it better have some, like, validity to the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, when people can only bring a conversation back to themselves, and when everything has to revolve around them is a very big pet peeve of mine. Also, when I don't know, when people think that their problems are worse than everyone else's, I think
a big lack of self-awareness really fucking that's my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, a lack of self-awareness, 1000%. I cannot stand that. Like someone who's like, I don't know.
I can't stand when someone
I can't stand privileged people who think that they have it tough.
Yeah, no, I nothing worse than someone bitching about something that I've been through 1,000 times and know that they're going to be okay. Brutal.
Something that's very important to me, and I definitely haven't mastered by any sense, so I'm not trying to say I'm perfect by any means, but I try my best to be self-aware of the privileges I do have and not to complain about the things that, you know, a lot of people go through plus worse.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, it just does really annoy me when I see a privileged person complaining about a position they're in that's still better than thousands of people, you know?
Yeah, I could see that. So that's a shared pet peeve of ours, without a doubt.
Okay.
People's lack of self-awareness.
What's the one that still annoys the other? Okay, do you have like a pet peeve of mine? Or something I do that's a pet peeve to you?
Ooh, I'll have to think about it. I'm sure I do, like, because we've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
Is there one you have about me? Go for it. I have to think about yours.
I'd probably have to think about it too. I think a pet, if I'm being 1000% honest,
lay it on me, sister.
I have two.
All right.
I think my first one is like when you get really angry and annoyed by like really just
Inanimate objects.
Stupid things where it's like, why are you letting that bother you? And I think that is my pet peeve. It's like if you didn't react to the way, or if you didn't react the way that you did to the situation or problem, like it might not be as bad as it is now because you let it have that power over you.
Sometimes it just feels good to be angry, and that's why I do it.
And yeah, I don't really necessarily agree with that because I don't like being angry. But I think that's a pet peeve of mine. And then two, sometimes I think possibly for the humor, I don't really know why you do it. But I think like when you make like sexist type jokes or just like, I don't know, like just really like ignorant, like you're not even thinking about it jokes.
That's why I make the 100%, like the jokes that are completely transparent of like, if you took 2 seconds to think about it, you'd realize that that's not actually how the world works.
Yeah,
out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It just as it is to everyone, like sometimes it's even hard for me to tell, like, what's a joke to Dallas Bronson and what's real is sometimes hard to tell.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
More now than ever. And I think that I'm a little concerned sometimes. Like, what are your real values? And so that's a pet peeve of mine is like you joking so much that I can't even tell what your real values are.
I knew that this was one of your pet peeves because before you even said
it's come up before.
Yeah, it's come up before. Yeah, if you see anything of mine posted on the internet, 99% of the time, it's just because it's funny. It challenges my beliefs or someone else's beliefs, and I think that's important. And maybe it pisses someone off.
Yeah, me. I'm just kidding. Okay, can you think of a pet peeve now? Or did you think of one? Yeah,
like I think you take everything I say too seriously. That, you know, it's a pet peeve of mine. It just made me think about it because I think you got a text when we were like earlier. Phones when like people are eating, like at the dinner table
Oh, yeah.
or like meals. I think that's the
Agreed.
best time to put them away. And I'm on my phone 24/7. I'm super engaged and glued to my new iPhone. But fucking, there's like very crucial moments to me where like put the fucking phone away.
I agree.
Put the phone
I've been
down,
trying to
put
do
it
that
away
more.
type of thing. Right now, lately, I don't really give a shit because of the state of the world. I've literally hit my time limit on all my social media apps every single day this week.
I guess like I've been having breakfast with like my parents. Like we'll sit outside and eat, and I've been trying to keep my phone inside when we go outside. Just I don't know. Even though like this is the time to be on your phone most because there's really not much else to do. I've still been trying to separate myself as much as possible because I realize the days that I do lay in bed, scroll on Facebook, go on TikTok, whatever the fuck. Like I feel so.
Slimiest.
I feel gross. I feel anxious because I'm getting all this misinformation and just like opinions of people who like aren't trustworthy and all this stuff, and it makes me very anxious, and I do not feel good. So I have been still trying to separate myself as much as possible, but it's hard, when you're stuck at home and there's not really much else to do. But I think it's still important to try.
Yeah,
it'll make everyone feel better if they just spend less time
honestly,
online.
I think we should set aside hours of the day or days of the week where we just stay off our phones.
I would love to just one of my fucking fantasies is just to have a day or two where I can just completely turn off my phone and not worry about it. But the thing is I have family that I want to answer to so they know I'm safe. Like I wouldn't be able to not talk to you for a couple days. I'd want to talk to you. So that's where it gets difficult, is like I'd have to be in this perfect situation where I'm around anyone that I would need to answer or talk to. And that would be so cool to go on like a vacation where like I had you and all my family, so there wasn't anyone that I had to answer to because they were all already there.
Yeah.
And to be able to turn my phone off for a couple days would be so beautiful.
I think one of the things I really appreciate about hanging out with you is when we can be off our phones. Like, it always trips me out when I go to text you and I go, oh, I haven't texted Kyleigh in like a day or two because she's been with me.
Yeah.
This is so weird.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, hey, I'm here. And it's like, oh my God.
We text all the time.
We have, which is amazing because let me tell you, this fucking chick could not text back.
I'm not
save my
great at
goddamn
texting
life.
back. I don't really like
but
texting.
now you are. Now it's fine. Well, now I don't care.
I find
if
it hard to have like a very good, deep, genuine conversation over text, especially
I think
now because of how close we are. Like I don't. It's
we
weird
don't bullshit
to have
it's
a
nice.
genuine text over
conversation.
conversation.
What are you doing? And then every
I
once in a
love
while
you.
we'll share something, and that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's more just like, I love you. I miss you. What are you doing? Okay, I love you. Okay.
Cool.
Love you.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay. Love you.
Oh, you didn't text back for an hour. What were you doing? That's weird.
Yeah.
Because an hour is a long time for us, type of thing.
Playing Club Penguin.
Fuck. Oh, man. All right. Next question.
All right. Oh, wait. Did I have? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. What's the least favorite compromise you have made for someone?
For someone? I think compromises that I've made with myself when I think that I can get away with being less self-disciplined and less responsible for myself. Anytime I cut corners when it comes to a diet or exercise or time spent being creative, like any compromises, those weigh so much more heavily than anything. Like the biggest one that comes to mind is when I think about that I don't listen to like music very often. And when I'm with Kyleigh, all we do is listen to music, and it's never music I want to listen to intentionally. And that's when we first started dating. Like, it was a really big problem with me, but I just let it go a while ago. But every once in a while I'm like, fuck, when's the last time I like listened to an artist that came out with a new album that I liked? And I'll like sit there and I'll like stew over it, and I'll just be like, fuck.
Okay, but to be fair,
other than that, yeah.
I have asked you before, like, what do you want to listen to? And you always say, I don't know. And
Because
then we'll
there's
listen to
okay,
a
this
couple
is why.
songs.
Stop.
Okay.
This is why. When I play music I like, it's like someone turned my girlfriend off and she's not there anymore. She just goes completely silent, no reaction. It's like bombing. I don't know if you guys have ever told a joke that doesn't.
Okay.
Like, it's literally when I'm like, hey, I want to listen to something that makes me feel good. And then the person who makes you feel the best and that you care about the most completely turns gray.
To be fair,
Hurts every
I'm like
bit of me.
absorbing the music and listening to it because it's something I haven't heard before, so I can't
She doesn't
dance.
even like bob her head.
No,
It's
no,
crazy.
no. Because I don't do that when I first hear a song. I have to hear it and listen to it at least once or twice before like I get the groove of it.
Well, here's the thing. She doesn't tell me how she feels about the fucking songs
That's
after
not true.
anyways.
That's not true.
I showed her a song last week and she just texted me yesterday and was like, I really like that song
I
you
added
showed
it to
me.
a playlist.
Yeah, but like
Okay,
nothing for a week.
I disagree.
That was the one
I think
song
that
in like
you're
months that I
so
played
used
for you.
to me dancing and singing along to songs in the car that when it's something that I'm just hearing for the first time, like music you listen to, and I don't sing and dance along to it, you get uncomfortable.
It's
But
so
it doesn't
uncomfortable.
mean that I'm not enjoying it. I can't dance and sing along to a song I don't know yet. I'm
That's fair.
absorbing
That's
it.
fair. But
that is usually what happens. Then you go, it's okay.
she
just play
turns into a
something you wanna
fucking
listen
a
to."
sex doll that I can't fuck
Okay.
when
But it's
I
not
turn the
fair.
music on.
I'm trying to enjoy it. I need to do that before I can.
I used to give her thumb drives filled with music.
Yeah, I wish you'd still do that.
And well, here's the thing: is that I'd share all this music with you, and you listen to it, and you'd be like, wow, and you put some of it on like an iPod or something, because that's how long we've been in a fucking relationship. We've had iPods, and then just one day she just stopped doing that, and then I was like, okay, it looks like I'm not gonna be able to give you any more music because you just stopped. Like, you're like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it, and never did. And I was like, she never ended up listening to this music, that music. So I just gave up. I don't give a shit.
That's not true.
That is very, very
I
true.
stopped using an iPod because I got an iPhone.
Oh, wow. Well, regardless. We just consume music very differently, okay? That's the compromise.
That's the compromise. Is just how differently we consume music.
Literally every poster on my wall is, with the exception of Arnold there, is a musical poster. And you
and
do
I listen
like...
to The Cure and I listen to Ramones. I don't listen to much Nick Cave, if I'm being honest.
That's okay.
I haven't
like
listened to much Henry Rollins.
But you like Black Flag.
But I do like Black Flag. Oh, and I also love Henry Rollins.
Yeah, and we've seen him multiple times, so...
But to be fair, I do like that music, and I did try to incorporate it. I don't feel like I even... I will say this, just to defend myself. I don't feel like you've shared a lot of the music that you really want to listen to with me, so I can get to know it. So then, like, I don't make you feel uncomfortable when I'm listening to it. But you don't speak up when you want to listen to something, to be fair.
Very occasionally, I will say, hey, can I play this one song?
And I let you play it.
Listen to how she's saying, and I let you. I allow you, because I'm so benevolent.
Do you know what? But you get what I'm saying. And, like, you get uncomfortable if I'm not dancing and singing along to music. But I'm not going to do that
so
if I
weird.
don't
It's
know
so
it.
weird. It's like someone. It's like,
give me a chance. I have.
what's something I can
have
compare it to? It's like the
enjoyed-
batteries in your vibrator died, and you're
my
like,
God.
ooh, this is just as fun. I swear.
Okay, but the first time that I heard some of the Cure songs you showed me, I didn't dance and sing along to them because I didn't know them, and I do now. Some of the Ramones songs I didn't dance and sing along to because I didn't know them, and now I do. Smith songs, all of that.
And here's the thing: I'll always draw the line when it's something that is important to me, and I really want to listen to it. And I'll be like, "Listen, we're listening to this. If you let me, right now, okay?"
Whatever. Okay, I think that's a dumb compromise.
What about you? Any
Because I don't think you really... I would love to hear more of the music that you want to listen to. You have introduced me to so much amazing music that I love now that I I respect the music that you enjoy.
Thank you. Well,
But I think
to be
that
honest,
you hold
there's
yourself back from sharing it. So
it's true.
I don't think that's
it's very
fair.
true. There's a lot
Fair
of
to
stuff
me.
I keep right to myself. Another thing is, because I so rarely do listen to music with you or show you music now, that when the opportunity arises, I get so overwhelmed I can't pick anything, and I'm just like,
Well,
maybe
maybe you should come up with a playlist and I can listen to it. And then
I think I'll make up.
Okay.
I think I'll make a playlist.
Thanks for submitting this question, because look, we just worked through a problem that I didn't know we had.
Who the
Beautiful.
fuck are these? Okay, go ahead.
I can't really think of a compromise I've made for you.
Yeah, I know. Next question.
Okay, someone, you don't know them, but someone said, can you send me Slow Toko?
Hannah, go fuck yourself. Next question.
Okay. How do you sleep at night knowing your girlfriend is the envy of all envied?
Like a fucking fat rock. Like if rocks had fat to it.
I appreciate the question, but
She doesn't know what envy means. So let's go to the dictionary.
no, but I don't like that question because it makes me sound like I'm full of myself, and I'm not.
What? How does that make you sound like you're full of yourself?
I'm not the envy of all envied by any
But people
means.
definitely envy you
No,
because
that's not
you're
true.
bomb
Okay,
as
no,
fuck
stop,
and you're
stop,
dating
stop,
me.
stop.
So
Stop.
I'm a catch and a half.
No.
Shut up.
You're not.
I'm answering the question.
Well, you just did. You sleep like a rock, so there you go.
Well, I want to talk about my sleeping habits.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Next question.
But thank you, Kiana. I love you. So 12th Street Clinic said, just posted a huge celebrity before and after plastic surgery. Tell me your thoughts.
Unless it's some nice pairs of titties or something, go fuck yourself, 12th Street Clinic. I fucking hate these stupid spam questions on every. How do they even do that? How do they literally go into people's profiles?
I have a good question.
Go ahead.
Why? Oh, sorry. I don't want to make you emotional. Why has there been a decrease in Remy content?
Oh, well, I'm glad someone asked because I would like to give people answers to that, because I know that it's kind of like, it's hard to listen to all the content someone puts out, and I don't blame someone for not listening to like every podcast or anything, but Remington, he's still around, he's still alive. He just is with my brother, who doesn't live in my apartment anymore. My brother moved to Santa Maria with my sister, so he just is living a nice, happy life with all the
nice
attention
home.
he can stand, with a beautiful
and more
home.
puppies to play
And
with.
he has more puppies to play with. And now, because of the pandemic and everyone being home from work, he gets
lots
he
of
gets to get all the attention he wants. But
we
he
miss
was
him.
so sweet to me last time I saw him. He was absolutely he was so calm. He looked so peaceful, like he had never been younger feeling in his life. It was the sweetest and cutest ever. And I wrapped him up in a little blanket, and I made a little Remy burrito.
So cute.
And like he always does, he hung out in the driver's seat while me and my brother worked on whatever piece of shit car I had at the time. But I have a really good car now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's why there's been a decrease in Remy content. I just don't see him as much.
He doesn't live with you.
Yeah, it doesn't live with me. It's also hard to a lot of the time I want to be taking like 1,000 pictures and videos, but most of the time I just want to cuddle with him and hug him and pet him and play with him and bite each other's ears and give him kisses and stuff like that. So that's why.
Yeah.
I tried so hard not to cry through all of that. What was the next question?
I get it. I've been spending a lot of time with the dogs that I have now, which aren't Gracie. Sucks. But it's been, I'm starting to get to know them better, and so I'm starting to get more attached.
I adore them.
They're okay. Not Gracie, but why are you so comfortable flashing your dick? I must know.
Who asked that?
Kiana.
First of all, I don't even know if she's ever seen it. Second of
I'm
all,
sure she has.
good for her. I think because I know that it's not like realistically small, and I can just kind of like flash it real quick so people don't have to get an exposed view of it, so they can't judge it for very long. And also, I've always just like, as long as I can remember, I've been like mooning people and like pulling my balls out and like just doing dumb shit like that. So part of it's like always been just a funny fucking thing with my friends and as a kid, and growing up watching Jackass and, you know, Viva La Bam, CKY, all these things where everyone's just doing like goofy things with their dick and balls and asses, and, you know, just like it's literally a comedy prop that is always attached to you. Mm-hmm. And I get to sexually assault someone for a joke. So that's awesome too.
Perfect. Okay. Next question.
Yeah.
When are you going to propose to Kyleigh?
Sometime when we don't live with our parents. I hopefully have made this abundantly clear, but also realistically clear. I could propose to Kyleigh any day of the week at all times, because I have full intention of spending the rest of my life with her and marrying her and shit. But we don't even live together on our own yet. Damn, your tits look good.
Thanks.
Anyways, so put that shirt down. Jesus. Anyways, I'm trying to answer a question. So just like some point when we're on our own and maybe have a home of our own, that would be nice. When I have like a full-time job, when the world isn't ending, something like that. That'd be
agreed. 1000%. I don't want to be proposed to while I'm living at home. I think that's really embarrassing. Like, I want us to be established and be able to like
fully functioning adults. Yeah,
I want us to be fully functioning adults. Like, something I stand behind is that I think you need to live with your significant other before you guys decide if you can get married or not, because I think that's kind of the ultimate test.
That's like one of the final stages.
1000%. I don't care how well you two can get along, like just
seeing each other once or twice a week.
Yeah, exactly. But like, until you live with someone, I don't think you fully know them. And you and I have spent like weeks together. We've traveled across the country together, but I still don't think that's the same as living with someone.
No, not at all. They're very isolated incidents, and it could very well be. I
mean, there's no doubt in I don't think we'll not be able to live together. I think we'll manage, we'll work it out, whatever the kinks are. But I do truly, I think that the concept of like not living with your significant other until you're married is such old school and stupid. I think it's really fucking stupid. I didn't
even realize that was a thing till kind of recently.
Yeah, I 1000% think that you need to live with your significant other at least a month before you guys decide to get married or propose or whatever the fuck. Yeah, so I for sure want us to live together first.
I think there's...
I want to just be more established. The people, I don't know. Why would I want to get engaged and then have to go back to my mom's house?
Wow, this is so romantic. I can't wait to tell my parents when I go home.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
See you on Tuesday.
Just, I don't know. That's just that's embarrassing to me. I want us to have and well, no pressure, but also just saying, like, we're planning on moving in with Hannah. We're planning on us three getting a place. I'd be fine if you proposed to me while we're living with her, just as long as we're not each at our parents' house. As long as we're living in the same room. We have
some semblance of independence.
Yeah, some semblance of independence and some sort of structure.
Yeah, absolutely.
To our adult lives that's not with our parents. I just think there's something embarrassing about getting engaged while you're still living with your parents. And also, I want to get engaged when there's like, when we can plan in the future that our wedding, like,
this is really a question for you and not me, apparently, because
Not true, because it's important to what you say too. But
We'll see.
I just mean like I'm in the same boat as you. I'm not like obvious. Oh my God, I'm not wearing my ring. Whoops.
Oh, how embarrassing. What'd you do with it?
It's at my house.
Ugh. See, she's not even wearing the ring I already gave her. The last thing she's going to do is fucking fiddle with an engagement ring. She's going to lose some fucking $3,000 ring.
Okay, but
Is that low? I don't know.
I have no idea. That's the thing. I don't even know. I just don't like. I don't want people to think either that I'm like, oh my God, when is he gonna propose to me? Like, I make jokes about it and stuff, and like, obviously, I wouldn't say no if you proposed to me now.
Every time she does that, I tack on like another couple weeks.
Fuck off. But I'm in the same place as you are. Is I want to be established. I want to not live with our parents. I also don't want to be engaged for 5 years before we get married, you know? Like, that's, to me, an engagement is symbolizing like, okay, we're almost ready. We're about to get married. Let's everyone get ready. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in my head,
I'm waiting to see how many relatives this corona can kick off in my family, so I don't have to pay for all their...
Once you engage me, once you propose to me, we'll be on our way to planning our wedding. And if we're not there yet, then we're not there yet.
This is how I know a lady asked this question, is because that was 95% Kyleigh answering and 5% me answering. And she still said exactly what I said anyways. So it's really 100% a Kyleigh answer.
I was just letting you know, I agree with you. And I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, I can't believe you're not proposing to me yet.
Oh, that's good too. But also, like, fucking
I'm also
maybe we
only
move in together
23.
and find out we don't like each other.
Yeah, maybe.
And that our relationship before then was a really nice honeymoon.
A joke.
Not a joke.
6 years of a honeymoon, fucking A,
yeah,
dude.
that's pretty awesome.
I
and I would literally.
No offense. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe you don't agree, but I there's not really much doubt in my mind that we could live together. I think we could live together.
Yeah, me too. She's fucking with important wires right here, and I'm already like...
Okay, next question. Fuck, marry, kill. Chris, Wes, Caleb. And then in parentheses it says R.I.P. Caleb.
Fuck Wes.
Hell yeah.
Marry Chris, because I think he's got some money coming in. And then kill Caleb, because someone already wrote out his epitaph there, so don't want to waste it.
Yeah, all right. This one just says mustache goals with a question mark, so I'm not really sure what that means.
So I think someone asked me the same question. Do you mind telling me who that was? Is it a different person, same person, or what?
Greg.
Oh, okay. He definitely didn't ask me that question. But mustache goals.
Do you think he was making fun of you?
I don't give a shit if he was. You know, I mean, look at these things.
Your eyebrows.
Yeah.
They look good.
Yeah, piercing free. I think my mustache goals
Next question.
are... So yeah, if he's making fun of me, I can make fun back. But don't do that. What are you doing? That was a gift from Doug Stanhope. You're just gonna give me that. Not even using the coaster, and then she's breaking the coaster that came with the stickers I ordered from him. He hand wrote the fucking thing. I'm so mad. Give me that fucking coaster. Jesus, how hurtful. Anyways, you okay over there?
Yeah. Do you want to move on to the next question?
Sure. No mustache goals. Sorry.
No, what are your mustache goals?
Honestly, I really hope that I can manage this trichotillomania and I can stop plucking in general. But for the most part, I've kind of stopped plucking my mustache hairs, but it's still very obvious right here that I've plucked right here and then right here, just like yanking my own fucking facial hair out.
I don't think it's
just like an anxiety
You can't
thing.
really tell.
Well, yeah, that's good.
I
but
think
like,
you've done very well with your mustache.
and I'd really like it to just be fuller and thicker, and I would love to have handlebars, like a little twists on the end. I've wanted that since I was 12, 13 years old, because there's a lot of, specifically I think Sid Melvin, this professional skateboarder who turns out is kind of a douche, but whatever. He had a cool mustache, and I always wanted a cool mustache, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then Patrick Melcher, another pro skateboarder, his mustache, and it was just like a cool thing, like a lot of my favorite skaters had. Are you kidding? Put that down. Jesus Christ. Anyways, you can't point that at someone. Fuck. Holster or not, you can't just point giant black dildos at someone like that.
Okay.
Next question.
Who are your favorite and least favorite actors, and why?
Least favorite actors are definitely anyone who fucking walks up onto a stage and rattles off some ridiculous agenda that they're completely aloof about just because like society
What do you mean?
anticipates them to. I think that most often, like with the whole Imagine thing, like all those fucking people singing
God.
that ridiculous song, they're just so
Woman.
out of touch that they don't even fucking, like they're completely so unaware of self. They have no self-awareness. It's cringy. It's embarrassing. They try to speak to humans like they're not some fucking megastar. Like the
Which
only,
sucks
like it sucks.
because-
Without a script, you find out that actors are fucking stupid and boring.
And doesn't
it
that suck? Because there
sucks.
were so many people in that video where I was like, no,
Not him. No,
Like,
damn it.
Nora Jones. What the fuck? Nora Jones was in there. Sarah Silverman.
Well, I'm used to that shit from her because she's like a big lib, and I don't care. I'd still titty fuck her till the cows come home. But that's different.
Okay.
She's always been
here's
like
my
that.
opinion
Yeah.
of Sarah Silverman.
Okay.
Is I love her. I've loved her for a very long time.
Until you found out she was a dirty Hebe.
No.
Okay.
But I think she comes off as someone who can understand what the lower class is going through when she just can't. And it comes out in the Imagine
Kind
song.
of insulting.
You know what I mean? But it's like, ooh. Like, you're not making me feel better by singing Imagine or by
I think she
supporting Bernie Sanders.
she kind of like toes the line of like, maybe that's the wrong expression, but I feel like she's constantly like on the fence of like regular working comic type person and then like big time celebrity.
But she is a big time celebrity.
She is a big time celebrity, absolutely. But I think she kind of blends these worlds of, you know,
Yeah, all I know is I
Hollywood, and
cringed
then-
when she was in the video,
Yeah, that
as I
sucks.
did with everyone. There was no one in there that I was like, oh, cool.
yeah, of course, fucking Gal Gadot. We can totally blame her for this bullshit.
Yeah, fuck her. Dude, I fucking hate the fucking... What is it? Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Fuck that stupid bitch. That's all I have to say. And you can keep that shit in there. That movie fucking sucked. I think she sucked. Why would you get a supermodel to play Wonder Woman? We needed a curvy, down-to-earth bitch. And she was
Sarah
not
Silverman
it.
would have been a better Wonder
Sarah
Woman.
Silverman would have been a better Wonder Woman. She was boring. She was plain. She was supermodel worth. Like, nothing about her was I inspired by.
I mean, it's a fucking comic book movie. If people find it that inspiring, they're really easily influenceable.
Come on, though.
so
Women don't have that many superheroes to be like, oh, cool.
I know they just
like,
fucking burned Wonder Woman. Although,
even
with
Ben
that being
Affleck
said,
was a cooler Batman than this woman was a
it's because he
Wonder
played
Woman.
the older, thicky Batman with the gray suit. Yeah,
It's not fair. It's not fair that she was Wonder Woman. It's just not. I think she fucking... That's just my 1,000% genuine opinion is
It's
that
so
I'm
true.
pissed that she was
It's
Wonder
so
Woman,
true.
and I hated that movie.
Kyleigh is as feminist as they come, and I remember being very taken aback by her reaction. I almost thought that she was saying it as to like some way appease me as a man because it was so
Oh my
shocking.
God.
And that's not true.
I
And that's
was
not true because she's still
1000%
on board with this.
disappointed by the fact that she was Wonder Woman. She was a okay.
I don't really care for her
I hate
in the Batman versus Superman.
I don't mean to be rude, but I just feel like she was a boring Wonder Woman. She's beautiful, of course. I'm not
So
saying
my
she's not
favorite
beautiful,
actors
but that's so
are
fucking what?
I was gonna say, so my favorite actors. I was gonna answer the second part of the question.
Oh, go ahead.
No, finish.
I'm just saying she was extremely boring. She's of course beautiful, but she's a
You
very,
can't just get by on your looks. That's why I don't have a job.
she's a very classically beautiful. Like, I don't know who wouldn't look at her and say like, yeah, she's beautiful. Like, in my head, Wonder Woman in older generations, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not totally caught up on superheroes, but I felt like, you know, they were a little more normal looking and a little curvier, a little more real looking.
Yeah.
And I could totally be wrong.
I mean, but
And that's
look at
fine.
Henry Cavill as Superman. Dude's bomb.
I don't think that Superman is hot.
Well, okay. Anyways, moving on. Questions here. Favorite actors? I really like
looking people. Okay.
Gary Oldman,
Uh huh.
Emil Hirsch,
Sure.
Keanu Reeves. Johnny Depp's a big one. Jack Nicholson. There's definitely some more that I'm forgetting, but those are the first ones that kind of come to mind, and I really like those guys a lot.
Cool.
Yeah. I know I'll think of some and I'll kick myself later, but I've learned to just kind of let those moments go because you get to have different answers next time someone asks a question like that because you'll remember those next time.
I like that.
Yeah. Brad Pitt's up there. Harvey Keitel. That's another one. Who else we got?
All right. So you ready for your next question?
I suppose.
Okay.
You got people to ask so many more fucking questions than I did. People on my end suck. I don't know what the problem is. It's like they don't like themselves being heard. Their questions. Wow. What a babe.
Okay. You have an Sorry. Okay. You have an indie coming of age film based on some event in your life. What is it?
Jesus fucking Christ. Indie coming of age film?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, this is a thinker. I have to sit and think about it. You have to fill the... What about you? Do you have anything? Go ahead. Let me think about this.
I assume that my indie coming of age film truly would have been about you and I getting together. Honestly, like, I can't think of anything like more kind of monumental and very like teenage coming of age. Was just the friends that we had, the people that we were seeing,
Yeah,
the
something like
birthday
that.
party, all of that. I feel like was, and
Yeah.
and I was just about to turn 18. Like,
Oh, dude, totally. Like my coming of age as a 18-year-old was between the previous relationship and then meeting you, like that. Like
yeah,
being single, meeting you. Like this is like so much happened, and just like the first up until like us breaking up and then not knowing if we'll be together, and then maybe the movie would end with us opening presents on after Christmas
yeah.
that year when we
I
got
feel
back
like that
together.
would have ended. It would have ended that New Year's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Who is your dream guest?
Dream guest?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to answer that because I think that I could pick like a celebrity type of person or just like a regular type of person.
Pick both.
Both. There is a idea of who Nate Eller is that I will never be able to capture on like a podcast. I've tried having him on here before and he just closes up and it's like, oh, you just can't access this person this way. It's okay. I don't know, not to like embolden his ego or personality or anything, but did you take mushrooms before we started this or what? Fucking touching things over there. It would be really nice to talk to him. I think more often than not, I kind of bring myself back to, I'd love to have my dad on here. Mm-hmm. That'd be very important. I'd love to have my mom on here. Any of my parents would be cool. Any two of them. Yeah. I know it sounded like very, I can't think of the word. It doesn't matter. So someone like that. I'd love to have my brother on here again. He was only here for like the Pet Cemetery review. He just kind of like spoke in the background with Remy. So that'd be really cool. As for a celebrity guest, it would be insane to have like just a really big comedian, someone I really admired. Anthony Jeselnik would be up there. Stanhope, of course. Burr.
Wow. Yeah.
People like that. Yeah.
And the second part to this question is, which guests do you regret having on?
Oh, I haven't released those episodes, so you guys won't know. But also Kyleigh.
Wow. Okay. That hurt.
No, because how many times have we tried recording this?
Just twice.
No.
This time and
there was
the last time.
3 takes. There was this take. There was
Nope.
2 other drunk takes.
No
2 other
way.
different times.
Okay.
I
Next
see
question.
you a lot. We've almost recorded a lot of podcasts. Okay.
Favorite food you can't go without this quarantine, or top 3 favorite of all time?
Ooh, burgers, obviously. Favorite meal ever is just like a nice cheeseburger. I eat them without the buns now. I always have a Flying Dutchman style. If you guys are familiar with In-N-Out, everywhere in the world that's listening to this. Top 3. I really am missing out on some good cereal. I need some fucking really good cereal.
That's your top 3 favorite food of all time?
I thought it was the ones I can't go without.
It was favorite food you can't go without this quarantine, which I assumed was the cheeseburger, hamburger, and then or top 3 favorite food of all time.
Oh. Mexican food, Thai food, and just like a fucking good burger, dude. Those are my 3 favorite. Pizza's up there. Yeah. Just like whatever like boring white guy stuff you can think of. I like that.
Okay.
It's good. That's a tough question. I'd have to think about it. It would be boring. I wouldn't give you a good answer. Yeah.
Okay. How are you so beautiful, Kyleigh? Also, can we podcast naked?
Gotcha. Oh, like you and the person? Or me and you?
You wrote this question.
Oh, I did? Oh, God. What a retard. Well, clearly, we can't podcast naked. Our clothes are still on.
Yeah. I mean, we can both just get
how
naked
funny.
right now.
Literally
Should we take off all of our clothes?
No, it'll ruin the podcast.
Okay.
I'll be too distracted by my cock. Next question. God, that was a stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
It was even stupid to
Agreed.
answer because I didn't know it was mine.
Yeah. Guilty pleasure movies.
Guilty pleasure movies? I don't know if I've ever felt guilty for watching certain movies because I hold movies like to a very high place in my heart, but a very low standard for what movies are. Guilty pleasure. Just like goofy comedies that don't really have like a lot of substance. That's okay with me. Sometimes I really just like sitting back and laughing. It's very rare that I do this, but like a good Adam Sandler movie, Starsky and Hutch, Todd Phillips movies, things like that, minus the Joker, obviously.
You find all of the like Ellen Page movies we've watched to be guilty pleasure movies for you?
No, because I don't derive pleasure from it. No, not at all.
Okay, how about question for you. This is my own question, but also tied into this question. We recently just watched He's Not That Into You for the first time together. Neither of us had seen it yet.
Guilty pleasure
and I
movies.
honestly really enjoyed it.
It was
I were like,
fun.
oh my God, this.
It was so
I hate this character. I hate this character.
Yeah, it was so fun. I think something
And it was like
really,
the first movie we stayed up through the whole thing.
which is
for.
the worst because you have no idea how fucking hard it is to get this girl to sit and watch a movie, especially like
have a
there's
hard
this new
time.
podcast out called This Is Important to Me. It's where this couple shows each other movies that are really important to them. Can you sit still? Anyways, fucking what was I saying?
This podcast where they show each other movies that are important to them.
Yeah, and then the guilty pleasure movies would probably be like those romantic comedies, Katherine Heigl type movies, things like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that movie.
Yeah, it was fun. I've always seen those growing up and always watched whatever movie was around. And my mom really loves those movies because it's like her escape. So that's cool. Those are good. Like a good like chick flick is a nice escape. Guilty pleasure rather. Go ahead.
Next question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are dogs so cool?
Because they're not. Oh, I was gonna say they're not racist, but that's a lie. There's entire breeds bred to hate black people. I mean,
And Mexicans. Didn't you see Bert Kreischer's stand
oh
up?
yeah. That was a fucking perfect joke. Will you tell him then? If you guys have not seen it, go watch Hey Big Boy on Netflix. Bert Kreischer stand up special just came out. It is amazing. That's all.
Great.
Last questions? Any more questions there?
That's it for questions. I
Thank
do have
God.
a lovely Facebook quiz for you.
Oh, let's save it.
Okay.
Let's just fucking wrap it. That's 2.5 hours. There's a lot of questions. Let's just
Nice.
talk to each other like humans now.
Okay.
What are we gonna do now that we finally got this podcast in the can? You want to go for a
Who's
walk,
to
go for a
say?
hike, go to a concert,
Go
attend
to
an
a
orgy,
concert.
wherever
Yeah.
people are around, go to a restaurant, all the fun things.
None of that we can do now.
It's true. Well, we could go for a walk or a hike.
Okay.
Just
Aside
away from fucking gross
from a
people.
walk, that's all we can do.
Yeah. Well, kiddo.
Well, kiddo,
Oh, this has been really fun. Thank you so much for being on my podcast.
thank you for having me.
No, thank you for finally showing up and being
My
on
pleasure.
here.
My pleasure.
I can't believe I got you to sit still for this long. This has been a pleasure.
I know it was difficult.
Yeah, we only took 49 bathroom breaks, but that's what happens.
Irrelevant.
Oh, right. All right, folks. You know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
This is the Bad
Thanks for
Etiquette
having me.
Podcast.
Tell us.
What?
Come on, do it.
Oh, okay. This is the Bad Etiquette Podcast. Where the fuck are you?